Peroty, do I sound weird to you?
No, you sound better now.
No, you sound like you.
That's all right then. He
No,
was
he's
saying that I was
he's
roboting.
roboting, breaking up, the whole nine, just everything.
I mean, I was just say weird compared to what?
Compared to normal, man, like he was way worse. Like you heard maybe half a word out of a whole sentence or some nonsense. Yeah.
So final raid boss levels of audio quality.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Final
We're
raid
good,
boss
we're
levels
good, we're
of
at the
quality.
boss, and audio's gone.
Yeah.
Well, not completely gone, but I mean, worthless.
You will now have to finish this encounter via interpretive dance through emotes. And everything went quiet. I was like, everything went silent going, did my internet die?
No.
Or was that joke just that bad?
Joke's that bad.
Just that bad.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
A show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more.
What makes us different? Well, for starters, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 info, news, and opinions.
We encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us either by email at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter.
Now, on with the show.
I had someone wave to me the other day in the game, and I'm like, the wave emote? Who are you? Like, sir, you're at light level. Like, have you just never taken that emote off? I'm confused.
Hey, some emotes are not meant to be taken off. Maybe that guy's just a really friendly guy. And you're judging
maybe
him
he
for
saw
no
you
reason.
coming and he thought, oh, there's Peroty, I'm going to wave at him. I'm going to change my emote to be the wave one.
That too.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Some people are really quick at changing their emotes.
Maintain the mystery.
When they only have like 2 or 3, then go, oh, quick, I can change to that one.
I can locate this and put it on in under an hour.
When you have 16 pages that you're scrolling through and going, which emote shall I put on today? Realistically, I need another 8 slots so I can go around in a whole wheel.
Give me the emote wheel and everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
Or at least some people.
So we got cause for celebration tonight, guys, haven't we?
Have we?
Episode 150.
I saw that.
I know it doesn't really mean that much. I mean, we're nearly at 3 years.
It means
156
we've been going
would be 3 years.
150 episodes. That means a lot. That means I've been putting up with your nonsense for way longer than I should have.
Yeah, it means we've been long enough to be on people's Spotify Unwrapped, which I forget about because I forget that Spotify has podcasts half the time. So it's been fun seeing people in the Discord and people on Twitter being like, hey, you guys are my top listened podcast, or hey, you're on my top, my podcast list this year. Which is just cool to see the show that we create showing up in people's lists of listening to us a lot of times. So that's very cool. And thank you everyone for listening to us. Thanks for putting up with us for 149 episodes up to now.
Everyone that everybody posted, we've been at number 2. It's not cool.
That's cool enough.
Well, I mean, some people put out more episodes than we do. The shows
episodes.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, we are a fairly long show, but there are other shows that are longer. They do go. There is more show there.
I don't care. There's
no. I think if we left,
there's no reason we shouldn't be number 1.
We'd be number 1. It's my fault because I cut out all your stories.
Yeah, the stories would absolutely put us over the top. Now, when we launch the Patreon in 2022, you get the full Respawn Story Edition. Or maybe we'll just stitch all the stories together in one like episodic audiobook.
No,
you can
because
listen
that
to,
would take me
as a novel
to find those stories.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back to the whole. I mean, I have got all the raw audios from every single episode.
Oh, wow. No.
Where do you store that information at? That's a lot of info.
I store that on the laptop that you gave me.
It didn't have a hard drive that big. You're lying.
It does.
Audio's not that big.
I know what I've sent you. You lie.
Yeah, but their audio files are not that big.
Yeah,
it's not like this is full video or anything.
So Deacon sends her regards. She misses you guys. She said she was really sorry that she couldn't be here with us tonight. In fact, her words were along the same lines as Respawn. so they would have been bleeped out. So I said to her, I know you can't make it tonight, but what about coming on, the 3-year anniversary? And she's like, no, she's not being patronised by us.
What is the date, by the way, of our 3-year anniversary? I know you know.
Sometime in January. It's 6 weeks' time.
Really? That soon, huh?
156 you have to get to, and then that's 3 years. That's how that works.
It's still wild to think that we've been at this that long.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long.
It still really feels like we're just. It still feels like we're just figuring this out. Of course, that may just be every week. It feels like we're figuring this out and have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm really excited to get this show started today.
No, you're not.
Because no, I am, and like every week for the last 150 episodes, we'll introduce ourselves. Would you like to go first?
Who was you?
One of you, just any one of
I'll
you.
go.
on, then.
My name is No One Respawns in Real Life. I am the leader of the Hunter Master Race, and the Hunter Master Race is obviously the best class you can play in Destiny. And I'm not the one that just says that. Bungie numbers and every contest that's ever been played also back up everything I say, because Hunters are just better. I mean, that's all there is. Better players, better characters, better moves, better DPS, better Crucible, better everything. That's
enough about you. There. Come on, next person.
So.
And I am Peroty, the Titan who runs the Dusk and Dawn Cheater that all the Hunters live in fear of, because Hunters live in fear of Titans, and that's the natural order of things.
We couldn't just have one Titan. We have to have 2 Titans. And I am the other Titan, Nitedemon. Just to help balance things out.
Mm-hmm. You need 2 Titans just to handle the one Hunter is what it is.
No, we just need 2 Titans to balance out your ego.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Yeah, that's fair. Because Hunters are the best. We deserve an ego.
Whatever.
I
would like to introduce our guest this week. His Highness Prince RYZNYZ has joined us for our special 150th episode because
I just now realized that.
Pressurizing me for so many weeks to join us, and we keep shuffling the dates around just to kind of get out of his way and hide from him. But now he's found us and he's had to join us, unfortunately.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, life got in the way for the past 3 weeks, but thank you for tolerating me being with you guys.
I mean, it's the least we could do. You are royalty after all, so we figured we'd make space for you.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, we call his tag isn't actually Prince RYZNYZ. That is a title bestowed upon him because we trace his lineage back to German royalty from Romania. So he is actual, genuine royalty. So
I'm impressed you remembered that, Respawn. Kudos to you.
Well, I'm the one that found it, dumbass. I mean, Your Highness.
I don't know.
This is why Respawn would not make it in the King's Court.
He would. He'd be the jester.
He'd be a great jester. Yeah.
See? Great minds think alike there,
Respawn.
So yes, His Highness has joined us this week to celebrate our anniversary. Although he didn't realise it was our anniversary.
Yeah, Got You Down podcast. You got royalty on your show? I didn't think so.
Probably didn't bring us a gift or bake us a cake.
Yeah, did you bring us a gift? Did you bring us opinions? Is this why you wanted to come and join us?
Is this your own very personal moment of triumph?
If you'd like.
I mean, this sounds like your very own moment of triumph, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, what you got? The floor is yours, Your Highness.
Well, that's enough floor. That's it. Let's carry on.
He had his moment. He missed it.
Yeah, missed it. There was a pause. I did a respawn. Let's go. Let's carry on.
All right, back to you guys.
Just fill a whole bunch of gibberish in that space.
So the exciting thing about this week is that we're starting it early. We're actually on the same day that the
Why are we on a Thursday?
launches.
Because Stone Cold says so.
Yeah, because Stone Cold said so.
I don't know Stone Cold.
No, because it's our special 150th episode anniversary. So we're going to do, a live Respawn reacts, all 3 of us, to the TWAB this week.
Oh, okay. That's why. Fair enough.
So before we dive into all of the lovely things Bungie has told us, I hear there's been a challenge laid down by Respawn. Since people have been posting their Spotify Unwraps and have said, hey, here, you're on my list, you're in the top 5, you're the top 1. There was at least one instance, and it might have been Golden Gods, or I can't remember who in the Discord posted it, where we were number 2, only to the Guardian Downcast, and he said it's only because their episodes are longer than ours. Which I mean, one sounds like a challenge in and of itself, but
Unacceptable.
to Respawn decided he was going to lay a challenge down to the Guardian Downcast, and I've not followed anything of what's happened other than this challenge being laid. So where does that stand, Respawn? What have you obligated us to do now?
So of the hosts that are over there, it took half a day, but eventually Hazelnut accepted the challenge, and so far he's the only one that's accepted the challenge. And I said, okay, I issue the challenge, which means he gets to pick the time and the date, right? And I said, all right, place and time, and he has yet to get back to me. So that's where we stand.
What have you? Are we involved in this challenge, or is it just
No.
you?
I said I 1v1
That's
them.
my first question too. Yeah, I was like, who's challenging who, and what am I obligated?
You got us
do now?
involved in? Yeah.
No, I said I challenged them to a 1v1. Y'all don't have to be involved unless you want to be.
So
No,
you're gonna
1v1 is just you versus somebody else, and that's
Yeah.
So
fair
you're
enough.
gonna 1v1 Hazel first, and then 1v1 Gator later on.
Ideally, yeah.
And what's this to prove?
That they don't deserve to be the first podcast. That we should be number one on people's list.
How's that going to help?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
It's sound hunter logic.
Sound hunter logic. What do you want from me, man?
Yeah,
Hey.
nothing.
Yeah, see?
Asked and received. Very good.
I mean, rage fuels my existence. So I mean, what else do you want from me? I'm doing really bad in this Nightfall right now. I'm just too busy giggling and not paying attention. Damn it.
You should do better in Nightfalling.
Yeah.
Bungie would like to give you. Bungie would like to game. To give you some help, but they're asking for us to give them some help.
They are.
They've got their third annual game to give charity event that kicks off. They say tomorrow. Today, as we record this, between today, December 2nd, and December 15th, Bungie would like the entire Bungie community to join them in celebrating all the accomplishments we can give through games and giving. And they say thank you for giving all the previous campaigns where they've raised over $3 million in the past 2 years for the iPads for Kids program. And they're back at it, relentlessly giving iPads to children, throwing iPads, getting piles of iPads, flinging them at children, I assume in and around the Seattle, Washington area. And if you too would like to throw iPads at children, you can donate some money and you can get a lovely ship or a beautiful heart multiplayer exotic emote for your donations.
I'm not entirely sure throwing iPads at children is the right message we're trying to get across here.
No, it makes them healthier. It's fine. It's like an apple a day, keeping the doctor away. You throw the iPad at the children, the children get more healthy. That's how it works. That's how medical science works.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
So they do have a couple of tier levels. So at $10, you get a Lightkeeper emblem, which is a nice red fiery circular emblem. $20, the Arc Propellant emblem, which is blue background with a red heart with like the old school TV horizontal lines through it, which what makes me think of.
I did see that. That looks pretty retro. I like that.
It does. The sweet multiplayer heart emote, which I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. It's very pretty though. $35, and then $50 will get you the Ultrix Pura MK1 exotic ship, which has a Bungie Foundation branding on it. It's nice Bungie blue and red colors. So that goes on between now and the 15th of December. So if you want emblems or ships or multiplayer emotes, or just like giving money to charity, because giving money to charity is fun. And they're going to have a number of the featured streamers pages going live, doing streams throughout this next 2 weeks. That do they actually have? Okay, because I didn't see it before. Let's see. So yeah, they have a whole schedule. We're not going to read all these, but they have a whole schedule of people going live. Looks like starting December 7th to the 15th. So that week, go find your favorite streamer. I'm sure they'll be doing, some level of absurd thing while they're streaming. Give them money, make them do silly things, delete guns. Destiny Item Manager apparently is streaming on December 9th from 9 to 11 p.m. So if you want to see an app stream Destiny, this is your shot. This is your chance.
I mean, we've seen a fish play Pokemon. This isn't too big a stretch.
Yeah, we could do many things. So I don't see Nitedemon on this list though. Oddly enough, they didn't take you up on your offer.
Nitedemon, you're not on the list.
My name's not down, so I'm definitely not going in.
Wow.
Tried your best.
I do like the ship. The ship is in the shape of a heart as well, and I'm just wondering what shaders will pair really nicely on that.
I don't know,
Right.
but we've got some good shader news coming in this TWAB, which is very exciting to me.
Shader news? Shader?
Shader news, yeah,
Really?
all sorts
So
of
yeah,
good things.
let's run through this week at Bungie for the 2nd of December, as we are the 2nd of December today. And then what I'll do
Yo!
at the end is I will add what's happening next week in Destiny and all the lost sectors. And if they do reveal what's happening with Eververse, because at the moment there's been a lot of APIs being messed about with. So yeah, they've can't see anything in the API until I think the 30th anniversary goes live. So I'm gonna probably have to wait till next week for an update to Eververse, or actually go and have a look at it in game. Be a
Yeah.
surprise.
Have to go see it when everybody else sees it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this week at Bungie, they've got their 30th anniversary release. They're going to talk about Moments of Triumph, Trials Lab, Freelance, and quality of life updates. And as we already told you about the charity event, go give money to charity. Go follow things. They have another link in the TWAB to the place to fundraise, and also just a place to find all the streamers who are streaming. If you want to find your favorite person, looks like they're in 2-hour blocks. I don't know how many UK streamers are there, but you don't have to hunt them down Bungie bounty style. So they're from all over, and the first thing they talk about is the Trials Freelance. And I know Respawn loves himself some Trials, loves it.
I don't mind the freelance, actually, sir.
So they are, So starting this weekend, they are bringing Trials Freelance back, and they just say they are making a small minor change to get into Trials itself. So this week, well, it's actually nothing major. It's basically this week to get into labs, they are not requiring you to do the Trials intro quest to launch into the nodes. The only requirement is you must, 1, own Beyond Light in whatever form, and 2, be 1290 plus power. That's it. So whatever
So
Trials
this
intro
is to
quest you
stop
had to do,
the
they've...
cheaters or all that other nonsense, right?
Well, I mean, I guess there was a Trials intro quest in the past that, or up until this week, that you used to have to do, and I don't know what the Trials intro quest is, but
Okay.
it's no longer required to get into Trials. Just own Beyond Light and be 1290 power.
With the cheaters, it was more or less that they were going in as a team of cheaters. One cheater isn't really going to go in by himself and try and cheat the whole system. It's going to be less likely to happen. There's going to be more happening in the normal Trials playlist.
Yeah, but I was actually talking about the cheaters that carry people. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that make money by cheating and carrying teams through or whatever.
This is just for the solo playlist.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
it doesn't.
They will go into the normal playlist, which is why you have to be a certain light level. You have to have done certain requirements to actually play the Trials normal version. But the Trials freelance, which is solo player, is just as what Perry just said.
Yeah, you just have to own Beyond Light, be 1290, and you're in. So yeah, and honestly, when I read this the first time, I didn't think about it. Yeah, if you're going into regular Trials with the matchmaking as a team, I assume you'll still have to go through the intro quest. You can't just cheat your way through with the team. But if you're solo queuing, if you want to cheat and solo queue, fine. But you're with 2 other random people, and the matchmaking is probably no better than it was before. So 2 good people, 2 bad people, no way to know. So you get what you get, and you don't get upset. If for some reason you can't hit Trials Freelance this weekend, they do say that there is another one coming the end of the year. They do, their last 12 is going to be the 16th of this month, so 2 weeks from now. But they do say if you're not getting into Trials Freelance or want to, just don't have the time this week, they are running another one on the weekend of December 31st to January 3rd. So end of the year Trials Freelance, and they do say you can expect an additional zone capture and freelance in early February before the Witch Queen launches. And they will be looking at the Trials playlist over the next few months, pulling out lower performing maps from rotation, and doing the same general looking at the maps and hopefully adding some new ones. Bringing some in from D1. Just updating the maps in some way. So yeah, I've skipped Trials the last couple weekends, but I do love some actual Trials freelance. So I'll probably at least spend a little time in there, even if it's just to earn some more engrams to turn into auto rifle. Come on, summon an auto rifle.
What role are you trying to get on that thing, dude?
I don't
Trying
know.
to get the auto rifle that isn't in the loot pool yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one with rangefinder and something that I like, but I could like one better. It's really just I've farmed for messengers and Shariura's Wraths, and I'm kind of done farming for what's there. I don't really care
Did you,
about the other
did you
things.
get good
So
rolls or no? Because Shaira's Wrath is the range on the thing is dumb.
yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of decent rolls on. I, s- I understand that SMGs are in a good spot, but I still just don't love SMGs. So I've got some good rolls on it, but I'd much rather have a nice auto rifle. I much prefer to farm for that instead. But
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah, I get you. Auto
Are you, guys
rifles are
stepping,
fun.
are you guys stepping into freelance at all this weekend, or plan to
I might.
anyway?
I might.
Night Demon, if you have
I do
bandwidth?
have a busy weekend, so I don't know.
If I have bandwidth, yes. If I don't have bandwidth, no, I'm not going to subject my teammates to any of my bad jumping around playing, because I tried PvP this week and it was horrible because either I was jumping around or the opposite team were jumping around, and I thought it was just because I was playing in competitive rather than sixes. But then I went into a game of sixes and found it's still happening. So it's definitely me with the bandwidth. So unfortunately, I've been sad this week. I haven't been able to play that much.
Ed Panda.
That's no good.
Before next Thursday's TWAB, we should have the Gallowhorn in our hands, right? If memory serves, because it comes out on the 7th.
Well,
Yes.
Right?
it's part of that release. I don't think it's been clear how you actually receive it. If it's a,
Mm,
you know,
You
is there
receive it if you buy the pack. Remember?
well, right, but like, do you get it day and date when it downloads? You have the Gallahorn. Is there going to be a quest involved? Is there going to be, is there something to it, or is it just the moment the game comes back online, you have the Gallahorn in your hands?
Well, last time we got the Gallowhorn, we had to build it inside of the Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
Right?
We have to do a little
Yeah.
quest. Yeah.
So I'm guessing it might be something akin to that, if Bungie serves true to form.
Yeah, I mean, I figure you're bringing back, your most iconic weapon as part of your 30th anniversary. Like, I can't think they won't do anything with it. There's gotta be, even if it's just a quick like one-step quest. There's gotta be something
Yeah.
where you go and you talk to everybody in the tower. There's gotta be something. It's like this seems like a moment they wouldn't pass up having a good time with.
Yeah.
That quest step was part of a PvP map as well. So, although we used it to form the Gallahorn and we fought off hordes of Fallen, it was also a PvP map. Do you remember that? I think we had
Mm.
vehicles on it as well.
Was it Bannerfall, or am I just misremembering
No, it
it as
wasn't Bannerfall.
Bannerfall?
No, it
Okay.
wasn't Bannerfall. It was something else in D1. I can't remember what it was, but I vaguely remember playing it in D1 as a PvP map.
It was the Crucible map Sky Shock is where this took place, where we were rebuilding the Gallahorn.
Wow, good memory.
Good Googling.
Oh, fair enough.
Next in the TWAB is Moments of Triumph returning this year.
Which is also coming back and dropping live when our 30th anniversary goes live. So yeah,
On the
are
7th?
you guys excited to hunt a seal and a title and another fancy collection of emblems, ghosts, and sparrows that all have the sort of at this point yearly black the black, like just sort of off black, like real dark gray off black and gold color scheme. There's going to be a lovely little seal you can collect in real life, certain coin, and a shirt with a big white question mark on the front of it that I'm definitely sure is the final design. No question.
Yes, to everything. I love myself a new seal. I love myself a new emblem, ghost, sparrow, ship, everything. Give me all the stuff. Give me
Give
more
me
moments
new
of
people
triumph.
to kill and new things to kill them with. All right.
I will say that sparrow looks
Do you
really
have
cool.
anywhere to
Although-
put any of these new things?
No. Well, of course I don't.
I was going to ask about that.
He did just do a vault cleaning recently. Last time we were on the show, did you fill up that vault space in the 1 week
Of
since the
course
last
I did.
episode?
You know he did.
I've done several dungeon
Of
runs since
course
then.
I did. I am so sorry, sir. Apologies. What the hell?
So you ought to be. But for
I mean,
anybody listening,
I
should
thought you were
we?
going to come up with some excuse or some defense of some kind.
No.
No, just full on. Of course I did.
Yeah, no.
I was not ready for that level of affirmation, sir. I'm sorry.
He's turned the game on. He has achieved new loot. That's how it works. That's how the
Yeah.
system operates.
I couldn't do PvP. I had to do PvE stuff. I've gone and got more PvE stuff. There you go.
Good job.
So for anybody that doesn't know, let's explain what Moments of Triumph are for people.
Respawn's had a moment of triumph that realized we're reading the TWAB just now.
I did a thing.
It's in the TWAB. What do you think I had like, Bungie on the phone, we were talking to them, be like, hey guys, what's new? Oh, Moments of Triumph are in.
I mean, you guys
the
do have the
Telegram.
hookup.
So basically, your Moments of Triumph are a list of requirements that are achievements that you have either done in the game or you're required to do in the game. For example, we had last year, Moments of Triumph 2020. There were 28 triumphs to complete to unlock the seal. That also gave you the t-shirt, as I think you had one, didn't you, Peroty? Or were you going to get one?
That one I did get. I skipped the year before that. They've gone to this thing. I joke about their big question mark because they've like revealed the shirt design halfway through, and really, some years the shirts have been really good. Some years the shirts not so good. That has sort of become my yearly habit of knock out the yearly triumphs and then go buy the shirt to enjoy it. Because really, by the time this one comes around, the last year's shirts look a little dingy, and you have to re-up every year.
Yeah, I mean they're quite simple. Some of them are like complete the triumph to earn the ghost, triumph to earn the sparrow, emblem as well.
A weapon sometimes.
Last year, because the year before, it was the year that Beyond Light was coming, and that was when we had the Destiny content vault coming in. So there was a lot of stuff that was going into the vault, and it was a bigger moment of triumph than we've had previously. So there was one where you could complete all 5 raids and earn the Bungie.net token that unlocked a raid ring, and that was kind of an exclusive thing for you to do. Again, it was something to buy on the Bungie store, but you had to have completed all the 5 raids that were available at that time to earn that. Then you had to individually complete each raid, and they gave you the shaders from that raid. Leviathan gave you the ghost shell if you didn't already have it, because that was a random drop. Eater of Worlds, again, there was a couple of shaders for that. Spyro Stars, there was an emote and a couple of shaders. Crown of Sorrow was just the shaders. Scourge of the Past was just the shader.
I thought one of them had a weapon or a weapon ornament. No?
Nope.
Okay.
Complete bounties throughout the system. Complete weekly challenges throughout the system. Complete Vanguard strikes in any playlist. Complete Nightfall strikes. Challenging strikes granted the most efficient progress. We had to reach Legend in the Crucible ranks. There was one that said win trials matches, which I didn't do. I know.
You skipped one, you slacker.
I did. I couldn't do it. During
I'm, of
season
course,
of,
assuming that I did, and I'm sure I didn't either.
we had a Gambit one, of course.
But he
There
lost sleep over it. You didn't.
This is true.
We had a Gambit one, so there was during Season of Arrivals, deposit motes and defeat combatants with precision final blows in Gambit. You had to complete the Moon's Lost Sectors, all 4 of those. Defeat a tier 5 Nightmare boss. Complete the Garden of Salvation raid, which I didn't do. Complete a Pit of Heresy. Complete the Prophecy dungeon. Attain a rank of 100 in the Season of Arrivals pass, basically. Defeat Savathun's mystery supplicants in the mission Interference. Claim all 3 new exotic weapons from the Season of Arrivals. Find and destroy all of Savathun's eyes. That was part of the Ruinous Effigy, wasn't it? We had to go around on all the planets and shoot the silly eyes that were on the planets. Obtain magnificent legendary Solstice armor. And Solstice of... Yeah, and the glows on the Solstice. So we had the Solstice at the same time, whereas this year we had Solstice early, and Moments of Triumph has come a lot later. So I think there's probably going to be things like use the Galahorn to go and shoot 10,000 bosses and things like that. They're going to make you go back and play the game, basically. You're going to have to go and play Strikes. You're going to have to play Nightfalls. You're going to have to play Gambit, unfortunately.
Don't expect a short list.
No.
Essentially,
It's never short.
They want to keep you
a
busy
season
for the
or
next...
more to do it. Yeah.
They want to keep you busy for the next 3 months. You're getting the 30th anniversary pack with the dungeon, which is going to be the new hotness, but there'll be these laundry list of checklists to actually do as well on the side if you're already not trying to do some of the other stuff that's going into the Destiny content vault.
So do you think, I'm curious, because this is launching alongside of the 30th anniversary, and we've talked about, some parts of the 30th anniversary everybody gets, some parts of it you have to pay for because it's a whole pack they're putting out. Do you think they'll tie any of the Moments of Triumphs to things you need to pay for the pack to
No.
complete, or do you think it's going to be all things that are in the game?
Yeah, Moments
'Cause
of
it's all a
Triumph
free
are just
event.
all things that are in the game. So maybe there won't be a Galahorn
they don't want to
Triumph
tie
because
into anything
Galahorn is
that'll.
something that you have to pay for.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
unless
what I was figuring as well.
you said it before, one of you said it before, unless they did what they've done in the past, and we get the Galahorn for the Christmas thing, right? For the winter pack, but there's nothing saying that they won't release it later on. Anyway, we just get it first, maybe
Yeah,
in
it comes out with a
yeah.
quest line or something else.
something. We just
some,
get it for
some
a
number
few
of months
months,
down
and
the
then
road.
everybody else gets it eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only
I mean-
one way to take down the Witch Queen. It's the mighty Galahorn. Here you go.
Dun,
Complete
dun,
this quest
dun.
line.
And I know it said that you had to do it said for the Moments of Triumph 2020, it said complete these feats of strength before the end of the season, and it said 28. But I'm guessing because I missed 2 of them, there was 30 altogether, and much like they do with the challenges that we've had for the last 10 weeks on our challenge list, and you can miss some of those out to still get that large pile of bright dust from doing 75 of, I think it's 78 in total. You can still miss out a couple of them, like I did with the Garden of Salvation and the Trials wins, because that wasn't going to happen way back then.
Mhm.
But you can still unlock the seal and complete the Moments of Triumph by doing the majority of them. So they'll probably have that as well. Maybe the Galahorn thing might be there. But if you don't own the Galahorn, then you can't actually do that one. So you'll have to do
Until it
some of the
becomes
other ones.
available. But that'll tell you whether or not everybody will get it, because if it does have a Galahorn requirement, that right there would tell everybody that eventually the Galahorn will be available to everyone. So that's also kind of a spoiler, I guess, if it's there.
I mean, I did try and have a look in the API on light.gg to see if once they'd done their update earlier on today, to see if there's something been revealed, but nothing at the moment has kind of either been revealed and put on light.gg or any of the other sites. So I think it's going to be one of those things that we're all just going to have to wait until the patch actually comes on the 7th, and then it's all going to be revealed, much like the Eververse stores are going to be revealed for the next 3 months, and what the Moments of Triumph we'll see in game anyway, and there'll probably be quite a few videos to explain how to do those. And
Yeah, they've definitely gotten sneakier about not putting things into the API or making them findable in any way, because they know the moment it's out there, we will go find them.
It's out there, yeah.
The role that we as a community, the Telesto will leak its plans.
Give them an inch, they'll go a mile.
so Peroty, tell us about the Glimglam.
I'm curious if anybody's ever heard the term Glimglam before this exact moment.
I actually
reading the
did
swamp.
from my pappy.
Nope.
I heard it
I have
from my
no
pappy.
idea what you're going on about.
Really?
Yes, I've no idea what you're going on about. What is a Glimglam?
Yeah, Floridian Louisiana man from the swamps. What is the Glimglam? Tell us of this Glimglam.
Glam is like an icing on the cake. It's something extra special. It's like when you think you're gonna get one thing,
Well, why didn't
and
they
then
just say icing on the cake then?
because Glam is a special word that nobody gets to hear anymore. It's like
Well,
a Glam is
If
like
only 2 people in the room know what it means, why say it? Why don't you just say icing on the cake?
because
Everybody knows what icing
it
on
could
the
also
cake
be
is.
referred to as an event. A Glam.
Well,
could
what's
also
this
be an
referring to
event.
then?
I don't know. I didn't read it yet.
I know you haven't.
Armor mod updates.
I don't know about it. Yeah.
and other things. So
Yeah.
it- starting next week, you can swap your armor mods out instantaneously at any time. Wait for it, respawn, with no glimmer or currency required.
Ooh.
So yeah, when this event drops next week, you can just swap your mods out. No longer need to have bright dust or anything else. You can just swap them in and out, because we really want you to build things and actually care about your armor and change it around without having to use currency. They're also going to how on the Bungie app, the official Bungie app from Bungie, you can pick up bounties in the tower without having to travel to the tower. You can use the app on your telephone or tablet like device. Well, they've also seized an opportunity to make, basically, they see this free and reversible socket action available to all third-party Destiny apps, also starting December 7th. So in addition to using your favorite application on your telephone or tablet for equipping gear, transferring things to your overflowing vault, your favorite D2 apps will be able to do the following things: apply Armor 2.0 mods None of that Armor 1.0 mod nonsense, Nitedemon. You keep that in your vault where it lives. You can apply Armor 2.0 mods, weapon perks, shaders, ornaments, and ghost projections right from your favorite Destiny 2 app. Now, that being said, this will likely not be available December 7th,
Hold on.
day
Did you say
one.
you can change the mods from your app?
Armor 2.0 mods from your favorite Destiny 2 app. The caveat being once they build this functionality in. I'm not saying you can load it. I'm not saying
be there inside of
Ishtar
Dim,
day one. Yeah, like I'm not saying day one Dim and Ishtar will have this available, but they will have the ability to
I
make
think
this.
they're saying Dim and Ishtar.
It's already got
They're
it
starting on
because
7th.
when you build your armor sets inside Dim, like I do, to swap back and forth and this and that and the other, you build your armor set as is with mods and everything, right? And right now it even tells you,
No,
hey,
but you
right
can't
now we
slot
can't change the mods.
You can't change the mods and slot the mods in.
Right now it can't. But
right now,
when you build the armor sets, especially in the future, after this comes out and you build those armor sets in Dim, you can have all these different armor sets with all the different mods for the same armor, and it'll be swapping all that stuff out for you too. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a
and I know
wonderful
what you mean,
quality of life.
Peroty, is that sometimes they say one thing, but they mean another.
Right. Yeah, and making it available to the developers to include doesn't mean, because obviously if they make it available to the developers on the 7th, they can't have already added it to their apps by the 7th. Or maybe they made it available to the developers, say, early, and come December 7th, you'll see Dim and Ishtar and everyone else saying, hey guys, you can do this day one. That would be amazing, Bungie. Hope you did that.
That'd be nice, but that involves giving them access to something where they can see spoilers and whatnot, so I don't think they'll do that.
I mean, it's just the API stuff. We're pushing some of the API pieces early.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the API is what tells us what weapons and everything are in there too, though.
They did have a background maintenance today. I'm just saying, background maintenance happened today. Could be in there. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm just happy that I can do more from the app. I can actually play around with shaders and ornaments and not have to wait for my game to load or the screen to time out and go, I know you're trying to look at this ornament on your character, but we're just going to stop updating it because it's hard.
Nice. I do like that. Because then, especially like if you're in game looking at your armor sets or whatever, sometimes it pulls you out of the menu. Just have Dim. Hey, this is... Ooh. Hold on. Can Dim also change on the fly the armor colors? Because what if right now I look like Red Hood, right?
Yes.
But when I jump in the cruise...
Yeah, it's called shaders, not colors.
Shaders and ornaments. So yeah, you can switch. You can swap your Armor 2.0 mods, your weapon perks.
I don't know what's the matter with you, Bungie. You've made him happy, like about 3 weeks running. What are you playing at?
They really have. I do appreciate Nitedemon how they say Armor 2.0 mods because they know you're out there. You people holding on to Armor 1.0 things.
It's not just me. Fallout, I'm sure, has some as well.
I've got some too from raids. Yeah,
quite possibly. We did get a detailed look at Fallout's vault recently this week. So
yeah, we did. Fallout and Datto, right? Mm-hmm. The both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Datto show him what to clean out?
Both.
Yeah. Who knows?
It was vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Datto has been telling us how to play Destiny for years. So
someone's got to.
While this may not be a solution to every build craft feedback item, it's a step forward as the team looks to dialogue and build crafting and loadout opportunities for Destiny 2 in the future. The team will also be looking at artifact mod resets and costs in the future. But general armor mod swapping is a great first step. Guys, did you reset your artifact at any point in time this season, aside from like the beginning, whenever you were trying to figure stuff out? Did you really?
I saw I did see a video from somebody, I can't remember who they were. So they got to the point where they reset it so much that it was over the glimmer count, so they couldn't reset it again. Because it doubles every time you do it.
Amount of glimmer you can have?
Yeah, it's gone over the amount of glimmer that he can have.
I thought they capped it at 10,000 glimmer last season, though.
No, they haven't capped it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah, I definitely reset mine a couple times this season. I haven't partially because I haven't been that involved with caring which mods or which. I sort of knew the ones everyone loved and set them immediately. But last season, no, I definitely did swap it around, and it was partially just to move. Like I wanted to reset one. I wanted to change one node in that from one to the other. So of course you have to reset the entire thing to do one of those. So Bungie, in the future, if we could just like move, one of those nodes around, give it a cooldown, give it a timeout, a cost, something, but let me just change the one thing I want to over.
Well, I think it's because you're reforging the whole thing, I think is what their mindset is. Because I was thinking, hey, just charge me 5,000 glimmer from going from this node to this node, like you just said, right? But in like lore, right? What we're doing with this artifact is we're essentially reforging this artifact, recrafting this artifact. So I guess that's why they make you reset the whole damn thing to start from scratch or whatever.
I think I'm in agreement with Cheese Forever. Is once we've unlocked it, why aren't the armor mods just available as and when we want to pick them? The armor mods have got a cost to put onto our armor in the first place, so you can't slot all of them on there. And if you wanted to, you can buy all the ones that you want to put on there anyway. So why aren't they just all, once you've unlocked it
from the artifact? You mean?
Yeah. Why aren't they just all available to be selected if you want them? That way, you don't have to worry about paying it and resetting over and over again if you've got the wrong one.
I'm curious if that's one of their like there's too many options to balance around. Like they say, like we'll give you options to choose in the season, but you can't have all of them unlocked at one time, because then you could put your fusion rifle unbreakable mod with your particle accelerator, and the entire game just erupts in a fireball or something. I'm sure there's some combinations where they're like, there's certain things that at the moment,
Celeste 2.0.
Yeah, or I mean, the moment where someone says, "Hey guys, go run this build. You can one shot anything in the game." The game is broken, because you can everyone can just apply that set of mods, and in these certain situations, the entire game is broken because of the Telesto or the certain hand cannon or whatever it is.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Nitedemon. I would love to have that, because it's always irritating to have to go back and go, well, I wanted this and now I want this because now I have this kind of gun, or this kind of gun became good all of a sudden and that's what I want to use. But I'm going to guess it's one of those balance things of, well, we can't give it all to you because it would just be too many things to balance around, or who knows, something else entirely.
Yeah, possibly.
So, moving on, we have something that you can't have unless, of course, you're a part of this API development team. And what's happening is they're giving everybody that is a part of API, whether you're DIM, whether you're whatever app you've made to help with the game, you get a special emblem. It almost looks like a Japanese pinwheel. Not the freshest look, in my opinion, but it is very unique. I haven't seen anything like this in the game thus far, so I do like it's unique. And if you see anybody with this emblem, it means they've been on some kind of API team assisting with the game at one point or another. So give them some love. They help you with the apps that you use probably all day, every day when you play this game. So give them some love, do a little dance, get down tonight. Dun, 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 dun. That's what it looks like if you're watching on the stream. Bam.
Yeah, they've made a thing you use and probably love.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see them, giving those folks some recognition, because we love them in the community, but it's nice to see, the humans behind these apps. Like I was joking,
honestly, we take
DIM
advantage
is streaming. Obviously, there's a number of humans behind DIM. It's not, the app doesn't write itself.
Yeah, no, we absolutely take advantage of these people, and you don't even understand. Every time Destiny comes out with a new weapon or a new perk or a new mod, they got to go in there and reprogram all of that stuff and everything that has to do with that new mod, weapon, gun, etc. Right? So
you can't exactly close your web browser for 30 seconds to change those things either. Like, these are not quick fixes either.
Exactly. So, they do a lot of work, and we take advantage of it. We never give them any thanks. Every now and again, like on Dim, it'll say, hey, donate to us if you want to help out or whatever. But,
buy me a coffee.
Yeah, something, help us out. We're late nighters. We have our day jobs, and this is for fun. So, kind of help us support the cause, Moving a little forward, we have our final patch note preview of 2021. Oh, Peroty.
Final one in 2021. I can take the rest of the year off. I'm done. I'm out. We're through.
That's right.
There won't be anything interesting in the 16th swap. They've already said that. The 16th swap, who cares?
There's no more patch note previews, that's for sure. And as we all know, Bungie never goes back on their word. Ever.
They would never.
They
They would
can.
never.
It's already out there on the wall.
I'd be
They're not allowed
appalled if
to.
they did something like that.
Right? Who? Why
Yeah.
would? Who would?
Yeah.
we let our
So
guest tell us what's happening in the patch note preview.
Hmm.
Make
Indeed.
him do some work
Alright.
as he's here.
yeah, put them to
That's
work.
fair. Well, I don't exactly have a title as fancy as Peroty's patch note preview. Sorry,
No,
Get on
and
my
you don't
list.
get
tell
any
you
fancy
that-
music either. That's for
No.
parody.
that's
That's
fair
not
enough.
true. No, at the very least, you should give him a royal opening with the trumpets and whatnot. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, that was good enough.
We'll use that. Yeah, we'll
Whatever
use
that
That
was.
was that was good enough. Sorry, I didn't do better, man. But that's what you get, I guess.
The court jester has introduced his king.
All right. Well, our 30th anniversary release will be our last content drop until the Witch Queen. I guess we can say we'll see about that. Sure, we might have a hotfix or two before the year is out, but this will be our last big patch note, and that is big in quotations. We're excited for Dares of Eternity and the new dungeon, but we're also looking forward to releasing some QOL, quality of life, improvements that have been requested by players for some time. Alright, to start us off, we've got some photosensitivity changes. That's going to include screen explosions, and those are going to reduce the bright, flash intense glows, updated near fade on particles, Hive headshot and darkness blast, Hive headshot VFX intensity reduced, Hive darkness blast detonation and projectile intensity reduced, Taken projectile and muzzle flashes, and that's arc rifle, Taken slug rifle, and necromancer VFX reduced intensity and normalized lights, the hollowed lair boss fight, which is a rabbit hole in of its own, adjusted intensity, particle near fade for multiple VFX and boss fight, area of effect tell intensity, how players understand the boss is casting lightning. Lightning strike particles and light intensity is reduced. The impact particle near fades is updated. Cloud brightness animation frequencies have been slowed down. The decals reduced in intensity. Scorn VFX, that's all it says. Intensity of spawn object and effects. Performance and near fades updated on spawn. Toxic muzzle flash, projectile performance and intensity tweaks. Finisher intensity. Adjusted shader and lights on finisher to not bloom. Arc abilities and screen effects. Arc objects debuff have reduced intensity when in close proximity or in first person. They reduce the on and off flashes of arc screen effects and of arc screen shaders. For the blind well, the Dreaming City weapons now drop more frequently upon successful blind well completions. I am very sorry about that last sentence.
Sir, you have already more competently read those words than I ever could. I think I've been replaced. I will see my way out. Goodbye.
Well, you say it. I kind of just read that very monotone. I just read it word for word. You have a way
Of stumbling over
trying to
every
think what's
third
the-
word.
Yeah. That's
No.
the only reason he's not
No.
monotone is because he's illiterate. He struggles and panics.
and that's what makes
Yeah,
it.
but
That's
people
what
don't
makes
hear
it
that
more
parody. I
original.
do cut those bits out.
Oh, okay.
And then I tell myself it's more fun
See?
that way.
Yeah. But you notice the one thing they didn't fix? The fact that colorblind still isn't working!
Sir, this is all about photosensitivity. We don't care that you can see the colors. We care how bright the colors are to you. Can you taste the colors, Respawn? If you can't taste the colors, they're not trying hard enough.
Respawn.
I've been tasting colors for years,
Respawn.
but I think it's for a completely
Respawn.
different reason.
Respawn. Respawn.
What?
What raid is there an issue with the color that you're having issues with?
Well, the raid specific is the space raid, the Deepstone Crypt,
Deep
where
Stone
everything
Crypt,
is
the
red.
one that you refused to take me through the other week. You
Yeah, that
shunned
one.
me for. So
Yeah.
don't moan because you don't even play it. Enough
But I'm not
said.
even talking about
I'm
that. I'm
out.
talking about the general color blindness. My general look back in the day, whenever I would turn on my Tritonopia or whatever the hell you call that, the health bars for the boss level enemies were a bright pink. Did not blend into the background.
Just
Very unique.
Shoot
You know
more
what they were.
until the
Now
energy
everything
bar
is
goes
yellow.
down.
When you put
Stop
it on yellow
moaning.
color blindness, that
Stop
means you can't see
moaning.
the color yellow.
No, just shoot it until it goes down.
Well,
Don't
the
need to know
thing
what colour it
you can't
is.
see all the time when it goes down. Because
Respawn.
it blends
Here's
in the
another thing that you
background.
can think about. The little people have less health. The big guys have big health.
Just shoot them until they fall to the floor.
You know what?
When they fall on the floor and they don't move anymore, that's it. They're done. You don't need to worry about them anymore.
you've put me in the very uncomfortable position of defending Respawn here, which I don't care for at all. First
No,
you take my
don't even
job,
go
and,
there.
and then you're putting me over here. I mean, all I want to say is, I mean, yes, this is still an issue, and
Yeah.
it's something obviously, you know, many of us don't have issues playing the game, whether it be photosensitivity, color blindness, whatever it is. You know, the accessibility changes. The number of people I've seen on Twitter this week praising this change that's going to make their life better and give them the ability to play this game without it causing issues for them is, you know, it's a lot of people out there that have these problems that we, you know, most of us don't think about or see or experience. So it's really nice that Bungie is at least focusing somewhat on this, because they could absolutely just ignore this and go, oh, too bad, you can't play our game, that's not our problem, enough people can, we make enough
Yeah,
money.
but the fact is they
Like, the
broke
fact
it
that
because
they've-
it was working at some point, and then they broke it. Same thing with the colors in the Deepstone Crypt. Had I not done Deepstone Crypt 45 times before they fixed colorblind mode, I never would have known. Oh, I got blue. Who's got yellow? I got red. What the? They're all red. What are you talking about?
Before you
You
shunned
know?
me, you mean?
There is no red. Yeah, but I mean, it's nice to see
No, they're
Bungie
all red is the
at
problem.
least focusing on these. You know,
Yeah.
they did do a color blind pass. Yeah, it's obviously not great. So maybe if you're a different color blind, maybe it helps you. Maybe you're still waiting like Respawn every week, going, maybe this will be the week. No, you know, they did. They're doing the
They're never gonna fix
accessibility
it, dude. It's been broken
with-
for
with the auto
like
rifle
8
stuff.
seasons.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they could.
And Respawn, there's another
never
thing
know.
that you can do to find out. And I understand your problem. I'm
Travel
not
to the
trying
I'm
to
about
take away
to
from that fact.
disconnect you from the server.
Can't
Hold
take
on.
anything away from him.
But here's the thing. Those things in the Deepstone Crypt, there's these little things called icons. I'm pretty sure they're all different.
Yeah, well, sorry. He's decided to leave the server, guys. I don't know what happened. He just got DC'd. Maybe he's having internet connection problems too. I don't know.
Well, that means
Um,
that you've got to continue the reading then.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so Hive headshot. And where did he leave off at?
You were really listening. Exotic
Blind well.
ornaments.
Somebody came knocked on my door trying to
Did he-
sell me stuff I already own. So where did he leave off?
Exotic ornaments. You got to.
Did he do the blind well, or did I miss the blind well as well?
No, I remember him doing the blind well. Okay, exotic
Okay.
ornaments, previews, and purchases. Starting next Tuesday, I'll be adding a new avenue for players to discover and acquire exotic ornaments. While players may still
Will you?
hop into the all me, just so you know. You can still hop into the Eververse store to purchase exotic ornaments if you want to, but they will also be visible and purchasable when inspecting any given exotic weapon or armor piece. AKA, you go into your collections, you see it there, boom, you buy it there. No more
Yes,
need to
but
go
you
to the
buy
store.
it for what there?
It's probably going to be silver.
Yeah.
Most likely. You would still have to go to the store to see what she's have on sale for Glimmer. Or Bright Dust, sorry. Unless they also show if it's got a Bright Dust sale on it as well. Maybe they'll have both prices available. I don't know. But we'll see.
Scroll down, be it below the Le Monarch.
Okay, well, let's read the Le Monarch. Oh, look at that. Prince RYZNYZ is back. There you go. He's reconnected. Let's see if he's smart about his connection this time. As an example, Le Monarch will be receiving a sweet new ornament on the 30th anniversary release. Thank you. It needed one. Thanks to a recent community poll for future ornaments, thanks to all who voted, when booting up Destiny 2, you can inspect your beautiful bow, tab down to the ornaments section, and purchase the ornament straight from the weapon itself. For armor pieces, this can be done either by inspecting the armor itself or through the Guardian appearance screen. Featured ornaments may be purchased with silver. If the ornament is available for Bright Dust on a given week, it will also be available for Bright Dust on the inspection screen. Boom, called it. Hawkmoon has a thing they want to say as well. We hope this makes it a little easier to find these items as we continue to build new looks for existing exotic weapons and armor pieces.
Love this so very much. To be able to go to the exotic thing and
Yes.
say, I've seen that cool ornament, what is it? Let me buy it now. Versus going, I don't even know what it is or when it comes up for sale. Thank you, Bungie. This is a nice change. Love it.
There is. Back over to you.
All right, we're gonna go with the Rusted Lands. Bring back the booms. Fix an issue where the dynamic objects, like those little barrels that you find that you can those little barrels, like in the Fallen Strikes that explode in like a giant blue cloud, were missing from certain parts of the map. In the Corrupted Strike, these are just general fixes that they did for the strike. They reduced the overall length of the strike and made it less painful after hard wipes in the elevator encounter. We have removed the taken combatants in the dark Ascendant Plane hallway leading up to the elevator. If a fire team hard wipes during the final phase of the boss fight in the Ascendant Realm, when they respawn, the portal to the Ascendant Realm will take them straight to Phase 2 instead of making them replay the platforming section between Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Very
Love
good
it.
change.
That is, let's just be honest, that's amazing.
That's a very good change.
Yeah, one we needed too. Those were rough. Just like having to restart the whole thing. Let's see here. When a fire team arrives at the platforming area before the boss fight in the Adytum, any fire team member or ghosts left behind in earlier parts of the strike will now be teleported forward to join their fire team. When players begin the elevator encounter, any straggler player or their ghost will be pulled forward to join their fire team. I have had several problems where I have had to go me or two-man because someone wasn't fast enough to get to the stupid elevator.
I love the idea of the ghost being left behind. Guardian, move forward. Ghost, no, come with me. Nope, sorry, you're on your own now.
Wait for
no
me.
resistance for you.
When players begin the elevator encounter, any Oh, I already said that. Fix an issue where Sadia's shields would regenerate faster than expected on Nightfall difficulties. Her shields now regenerate based on health threshold in Nightfalls, just like they do in Direct Launch or the Vanguard playlist. The portal to the Ascendant Realm after Phase 1 of the boss fight should now reliably place players facing the correct direction. Fixed an issue that was preventing the combatants from walking to part of the right side area during the first half of the boss fight. Silence should now spread out a little bit more on that right platform. They've also fixed an issue where the taken acolytes would just spawn immediately, falling to its death during the floating platform area before the boss fight.
I mean, they could have left that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I haven't seen that yet, but now I want to, but I guess I can't anymore. They also fixed an issue where, in certain conditions, the relic would despawn and never respawn during the boss phase.
In there.
Wow. To all of you who have had that, I truly am sorry from the bottom of my heart. Fixed a cosmetic issue.
We don't care that much about these things on the show that we're ever sorry from the bottom of our hearts. And if you're gonna be this kind of sorrowful,
Respawn, isn't he sorry to you? Didn't you just say you would have that happen?
Yeah,
So
and you know, I'm offended.
Are you shunning his apology to you?
I feel actually a little bit insulted because it feels half baked, right? It's like, what? Sorry from the bottom of your heart. That's something reserved for, like, hey, I'm sorry I used my lawnmower to roll over your dog. You know, that's when you should be sorry from the bottom of your heart. Somebody's hamster ran outside, you didn't see it. Now you have red grass. You know, that's something you should be sorry from the bottom of your heart for. For a fix that has nothing to do with you, where people just happen to come across it randomly, and you're sorry from the bottom of your heart. Who the hell do you think you are, sir?
I can rephrase that apology if you would like.
No, don't apologize
sucks to
at
be
all.
you that you had that.
Better.
Yeah, that's more
right.
That's more the vibe we're trying to give out. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. Man, I will permaban you.
All right. Fixed a cosmetic issue where the relic spawners during the boss would spin before the relic was spawned. Alright, let's talk about Dune Marchers, shall we? A few weeks back, we let players know that a few issues with Dune Marchers would be addressed in the upcoming patch. The goal is to remove instances of players being double chained by lightning created by these exotic legs upon a successful Titan punch. Please note that it will still be possible to die to chain lightning when having low health. If you have taken damage from a different opponent or being hit by some AoE damage from a well-placed ballistic slam, you may still fall victim to the dunes.
Pause. Anybody here ever play any kind of Smash Brothers game? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way I don't know why it's never popped into my brain before, but you said Titan Punch, and now my mind sees a Titan coming in with almost like a Falcon Punch. Falcon Punch! And now, since you said Titan Punch, now I just have this terrifying image of some Titan coming in with this flaming falcon around his fist to one-shot this poor Guardian that they're going after now.
So you're not seeing the Kool-Aid
it's
Man
like
coming in towards you?
No. I'm seeing Captain Falcon in Titan form.
It's Zavala. It is Zavala, but instead of fire, there's arc.
Nah, I wouldn't be scared of Zavala. He's a pansy.
No one's scared of Zavala.
Alright.
No.
All right. Once a player is hit by a Dune Marcher's lightning chain, they cannot be hit again by Dune Marchers for 2 seconds. And the other thing they fixed is Dune Marcher's lightning now only chains on targets that are alive. I'd like to ask, has anyone ever seen Dune Marcher lightning chain to a corpse?
Uh-huh.
I've seen it chain from a corpse to me, but not
Yeah.
to a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that was, especially in trials, you could totally use people's dead bodies. Not that it's been done to me. I have not done it to people. Been chain lightning killed by Dune Marchers from a guy six feet across the room because it chained to the corpse that was laying near me and then to myself. So yeah, good changes. Because yeah, the Dune Marchers have been a little bit broken for a little long while. Or a lot of broken.
All right, here comes the Icefall Mantle. They've got something regarding that.
There it goes, yeah.
The Stasis Overshield can now be canceled by pressing the class ability input once more. So they've essentially added a cancel feature if you want to cancel the shield like halfway through.
So
I don't know if
What is this? What is this? Is this
that's
the thing
that's
that
the one that
makes
gives you
you
the
wear your
overshield.
shield?
That's the one that gives you the overshield. It makes you super slow and unable to jump.
Okay, gotcha.
Basically.
I am curious to know if you cancel midway, do you keep that ability energy, or is it just gonna reset your things and say sorry you still used it? Sucks to be you.
Probably be said because you did use it. Just like if you pop a barricade, you use the barricade. So
Yeah. That'd be my assumption too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like if it were a super, I could see it refunding some of the energy. But yeah, the ability is no, you use the ability.
Yeah.
Hey,
The fact that you didn't use all of it, that was your own fault.
Peroty, Carpal has
It's a one
has
and
Titan
done.
finisher idea for you guys, dude. He says finisher idea: Titans breaking through a brick wall and finishing the enemy on the other side, just breaking through that bad boy.
That sounds amazing.
That does
let's be
sound
honest.
amazing. It does sound amazing. I can't fault that, especially for a Titan that's just known for punching through things. Yeah, or headbutt through a wall, do some Saint 14 stuff. Who cares? Yeah.
Hey Bungie, we got some finisher ideas.
No.
Hop in here real quick.
Kool-Aid and Bungie, come on, we can make this happen. Let's get this licensing deal going.
If the Titan pops through the wall, goes, "Oh yeah!"
I would not hate that.
I don't think anybody would. Anyway, next Tuesday. Hold on.
Next Tuesday, we'll have the full list of patch notes available for your reading pleasure. Our goal is to get the article out a bit earlier in the morning so our sandbox-focused players can get some eyes on more details for the upcoming ability changes. Expect timers for grenades, melees, and other abilities that were not covered in our previous TWAB.
Good times.
Crossplay text chat check-in. Blarg. Who wants that?
I think you do, because you're the only one who would know about any kind of tech chat in Destiny so far.
That is true. That was broken for a minute. Okay. It's been a while since our last crossplay update from the social team. In a previous TWAB, they provided a nice roadmap of what to expect as we brought crossplay online in Season of the Lost, but also on what to expect for future updates. Today, we have a quick run-through on text chat and what to expect in the winter timeframe. Hi, everyone! The social media team wanted to give you a quick update on our progress towards a unified text chat system. We recently rolled out a cross-platform text chat between our two PC platforms, Steam and the Microsoft Store. We also let you know that we'd be adding display-only support and then USB keyboard support in winter. So, what does winter mean? It's time for an update. Display-only text chat will be available for all consoles within the release of the 30th anniversary pack on December 7th, and with the launch of the Witch Queen, USB keyboard chat will arrive for consoles. Nice.
All right. So we get text chat at all come next Tuesday, and then text chat from an actual keyboard in February.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
That's something. All right.
What is display-only text chat on consoles? You'll be able to turn on text chat display in your settings. By using the ghost menu, you'll be able to bring up the display again if you'd missed a message. You will not be able to send messages, but you will finally be able to read what your PC Fire teammates are chatting about. And I can tell you, don't turn it on, because PC guys are probably not going to be sending you nice things. Just saying. What does the USB keyboard text chat on consoles mean? The Witch Queen. What this means is you can plug in... You know what? I was just going to tell you what it means, but they actually gave us a list. You will not be able to move your character via the keyboard. You will be able to invoke the text chat window by pressing enter. You will be able to text chat using the full suite of chat channels in Destiny. And you will be able to pick up 5 different font size display options. Sorry, pick from 5 different font display options. IME support will follow in an update shortly after Witch Queen. I believe IME is the control, so you can control your player via keyboard.
No, IME is something related to Asian character input. I don't know what it stands for, but it's
Oh,
something
is
with
it?
the Asian and Japanese character.
Fair enough.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is it's telling us you can type with the keyboard on console,
And that's it.
but you cannot like play as if you were playing on PC.
That
Am I
is-
getting that right?
That is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, you'll be able to read text chats and do nothing else on console. Come February with Witch Queen, you'll be able to text chat back with a keyboard, but this does not mean MNK is coming to Destiny. Maybe this is the first step.
It
in that.
needs to, though. I mean,
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, needs to, but with this update, you will not be able to use your mouse to play the game, just to talk smack
You will be
back
able
to
to
the people on
communicate
PC.
via
That's it.
keyboard. Yeah,
basically,
you'll be able to communicate via keyboard. You will not be able to play via keyboard.
correct.
but-
And this is really only a problem when you, well, I mean, it was a problem. I don't know if they've updated it yet, but I have some people that I've been playing with that are on PlayStation, and they don't have the Discord like Xbox does. Xbox has some kind of snap-in for Discord that you can still talk via Xbox and PC. We can crossplay, right? And
I'm still looking into that.
some of my PlayStation guys, they don't have the ability to do that. So we tried the in-game chat, which for a lot of people is still broken. Like me personally, when I enable in-game chat, it just doesn't work. I can't hear and they can't hear me flat out.
Yeah, that's
I
been
don't
my
know why.
experience with even just playing between Xbox and PC. Do these
Yeah.
people not have earbuds and telephones? Stick an earbud in one ear and your telephone. Get Discord on your telephone. We can
I
make
mean,
this
yeah,
happen.
that's what we've done to like circumvent it. But let's be honest, do you really want to be able to do that? To plug your phone in, to have your headset on, and I mean, people just don't want to do that. You know, I mean, it's nicer to just have the one headset playing through the game, because when you have the phone, like what you're talking about, you can hear me on Discord, but now you can't hear the game. You know, because your headphones are on your phone and not on the game. So it's one or the other. You can hear us or you can hear the
Look,
game, but you can't hear both.
Just be
this is-
thankful that you can play with somebody else. Don't
This is
fair.
worry about the communication.
Yeah, and PlayStation, this is just revenge from all the PlayStation exclusive content you got through, I don't know, all of D1 and a bunch of D2. We get the exclusive content of being able to talk to each other. Sorry, that's how it works. They're not calling it exclusive Xbox and PC content, but it is.
Let's be honest, they're implying it.
Voice communication is now exclusive Microsoft content.
No, but that's obviously not going to be like that. They're going to get some kind of a snap in or
That would-
something.
That
Yeah.
would be so petty. That would be so amazingly petty if they were just like, no, we're just not going to fix this because screw you guys.
Tell
So
us
who
about
wants
the
to-
Twitch bounty, man.
I
These are
I
pretty
want-
colors. I'm really liking the
I
chaos
want-
in this.
I want this emblem more than I've ever wanted any Destiny emblem in my entire life.
It's pretty good.
If you actually look close at it, that bright pink is actually like the symbol to the 9.
Yeah.
If you look closely.
Yeah.
But the fact that it has like a broken image loading icon as the emblem, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, like Windows 95 16 color glory.
It is.
I love it.
And not
So
only
this-
that, but in the yellow, you see what looks like Dado's name over and over and over and over and over again, right? I don't know if that's what it actually says, but it looks like Dado.
And like the gray background, like you can see a bunch of like different icons from there. Like you can see like the Destiny logo.
Yep.
You can see like the icon for like helm, like head armor piece, whatever.
this-
But how do we
this-
get it, Peroty? How do we get this
this
wonderful
gives
emblem?
me all the feels. So starting on December 16th, so not this week, not when the new thing drops, December 16th, players will need to complete the gift subscription bounty to unlock this fresh emote.
Damn.
Oh gosh, why did I try to read this one? Dreissigist, Dreissigste.
Dreeskixed.
Who cares? The emblem, the 95 emblem. Yeah.
We're gonna call you the Dressany emblem. So the Dressany
Yeah.
emblem, we highly recommend visiting your favorite stream on December 16th and showing some love to their community with a holiday gift sub. So it looks like you need to gift 2 subscriptions using the Destiny 2 Twitch extension. So during Trials weekend, players can react to matches and earn some Trials reputation and in-game currencies. We also offer the unique subscription. We also offer a unique emblem for players who gift 2 subscriptions on Twitch channels using the D2 Twitch extension. Respawn, do you have the Destiny 2 Twitch extension? Could people go to your stream after the 16th
I
of
have
December
the
and gift
extension,
2
but you
subs?
can't give sub me yet. I still haven't met the average quota.
He
Sorry.
hasn't got enough people watching him.
All right, so
He's
you
not
will
What's
need
the average?
entertaining
Is it
enough
like
by
4 or 5?
himself. He needs 2
I need like
titans
an
to be
average
there
of
with
5
him.
people watching me 5 times
No,
a week.
what you need is 2 titans to be with that hunter.
Mhm.
Mhm.
for people to watch the failure. Okay, so yeah, so you'll need to find your favorite Destiny
It's
streamer.
like failure.
Or,
Wow.
or second favorite after Respawn, who actually has, you know, the ability to give subscriptions to their channel and give 2 subscriptions, which is $10 US, or so subscriptions. Yeah, subscriptions are
It
$5
used
a
to
month.
be $4.99. Yeah, it used to be
Do you
$4.99.
get a
Okay, so 2 cents
subscription
short of
with
$5.
Amazon Prime, don't you, or something? You can
Yeah,
gift
it's a
one
free
for
subscription you can give to
free.
one person.
So
Now,
you'd have to
Can you
gift the
give
free one,
can you
and
gift
then
that one to somebody else? Because this looks like you have to actually gift it to another person watching. Can you gift that Amazon Prime subscription to a person? Because you
Right.
can use it
No,
on
you
the
can.
stream
Can't you give them a gift?
to
I
the
can't remember.
streamer, but
Yeah.
but you have to gift it to other. This is 2 gift
Ah.
subscriptions. It looks like
Okay,
you need
I
to
see what
actually
you
gift.
mean
You
now.
know, you
Yes,
actually
yes.
you basically have to spend $10 on 2 other human beings in that streamer's stream, gifting them a
You have to
subscription.
give them a subscription. Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
happened last time, is where you had to go to somebody's stream and you had to gift the subscriptions to get that. I think that there was a shader, wasn't it, and an emblem that was
Yeah.
available, purpley looking
But it just
Yeah.
says.
shader. Yeah, I vaguely remember that now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
So you don't gift it to the streamer; you gift it to somebody else in the chat.
Yeah, to someone
Yeah.
watching their
Yes.
stream, so they can enjoy.
It's easy. You gift it. The next day you cancel it. Bam, you're done. You're good.
No,
You can't.
no.
I mean, maybe you can, but
Well,
then you
you
lose your stream.
you have to
This-
because it is
this
a
emblem-
subscription. Every month it will charge you that $10 for those 2 people unless you cancel it.
Does it? I don't
Yeah.
think that's how the. I don't think
No,
that's how the
why
gift.
it's not how
called
the
a
gift things work.
Sub meaning subscription.
Yes,
It is
but
a
you can do
subscription.
one-offs.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think that's how that works at all.
Well, you didn't used to be
Let's
able to.
just-
It used to be every month a recurring thing, but
At the
okay.
end of the day, let's face it, Peroty's getting this emblem. We'll find out what he does to get it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
There you
am
go.
absolutely getting this. I am
We will get feedback on this.
highly motivated to get this ridiculous Windows 95 broken image emblem. This is incredible.
I'm curious, if you cancel that subscription and like it goes away, do they take the emblem from you, or is like could you subscribe for the month, cancel it, and then you still have the emblem?
You still have the emblem. Once you've gifted the sub, you have the emblem. You've been given the code.
And,
What
honestly,
do you after that?
Right.
and honestly, at the end of the day, it's $10. I'll pay $10 for this emblem, and also let 2 people enjoy Fallout or Ebontis or Secret Nitedemon, or whoever my streamer of the day happens to be. Whoever's playing Trials and Twitch says, "Hey, this person's live." Guess what? Spending $10 on their stream. It's gonna be amazing.
What else is amazing is what to expect after this patch.
Yeah, update 340.
Yeah.
3.4.0 coming on the 30th anniversary. Too bad it's not the 3.0 update, but we already did that. So yeah, the game is going to be down, preparing everybody again on December 7th, 8 a.m. Pacific, 1600 UTC, sometime later in Oz. D2 maintenance begins. 45 minutes later, Destiny gets brought offline, so finish what you're doing, because you're going to get kicked offline. 9 a.m. Pacific, 1700 UTC, Destiny update 3.4.0 rolls out across all the platforms and all the regions, no matter what time it is where you are. An hour after that, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1800 UTC, the maintenance completes, theoretically, in an hour. And then things will be brought back online. The game will be online. Your apps will start coming back online. As we always say, expect it to take longer. This is a big update. There could and likely will be problems. So don't be sitting here at Nitedemon at 6 o'clock your time, PM, going, all right, I'm going to play my Destiny. Because no, you're not. It's going to take some more time to get sorted.
One of these days, they'll get it so that it actually goes in line with what they're saying in the TWABs. Just one of these days, it'll just go, and it's not going to be. And the Witch Queen, there's no point. You just know it's going to be like The Rise of Iron. That was a complete mess, wasn't it? Oh, we're gonna go push the button to go live now. I think it was 7 o'clock in the morning for you guys, wasn't it, at the time? And literally about 2 hours later, we were all still sitting in the queue, waiting to get in to play the game. But yeah,
Working great as intended, as it should be, because we already have some upcoming known-if issues. If for some reason you have a Forsaken cipher, they're not appearing in your player's loot stream if the player already owns Forsaken. The ciphers can be picked up from the Forsaken section in the Monument to Light exotic archive at the tower. They will end up in the player's consumable inventory, but if the inventory is full, then they'll go to the postmaster. Players should pick these up immediately so they don't get pushed to the postmaster.
Actually, I do have something to add to this, and maybe you guys can answer this. I think it was Nifty, who's part of the clan now. He was asking, with Forsaken becoming free, I think it's actually as of December 7th. Does that mean I don't think through the kiosk.
just the campaign.
Or, sorry.
Yeah, the campaign is free.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, so Forsaken, it's not becoming free, and I'll get to that part in a second. But yeah, it's not becoming free. The campaign is free, but you'll still need to buy Forsaken if you want all the Forsaken goodness.
Okay, I was going to ask, because he was asking, with the campaign becoming free, does that mean the exotics become free? And it sounds like that's a no.
If you have anything you already have earned, you will keep. If you earned it and it was part of race, they're not taking anything away from you. So if you've already earned the exotics and have the exotics, and this goes for everything, any guns, weapon, armor, whatever, anything you have and you have in the game, Bungie is not taking away from you. If you have not earned it yet, it will not be available to you unless you own, Forsaken or Beyond Light or whatever the content is where that thing appears. Up to and including
good to know.
Your middle tree supers, that goes away. And
good to know.
The only other known issue is the Moments of Triumph. One Triumph's description states that 1 lost sector on Master difficulty needs to be completed, but there are actually 4 that need to be completed. So they don't say which Triumph, but the one you're doing for Master difficulty, you're going to need to do it more than once. Now, I wonder if it's 4 separate ones, or if I can just run the Bunkery 15 4 times in a row and be done with it.
Probably not. It's probably 4 separate Master Loss sectors. But with that, it doesn't specify that you have to run them solo. So you could probably get a team to go through there and knock them out. It's a lot easier, but the only problem is that you won't get the exotics to drop because you have to do them solo to get the exotics to drop.
Yep. And, as we've been telling you the last couple of weeks, on December 8th, which is the day after all of these things happen and come out and are available to you, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light will all leave the Xbox Game Pass, the Xbox Cloud Gaming for Xbox consoles. If you're playing this on Xbox and you're doing this through Game Pass, you lose content. You lose access to all of that content when all of this stuff. Yeah, if you haven't bought it when all this drops.
That's telling you to.
No.
So you need to buy it outside of Game Pass now. If you want these things, you can't use it through Game Pass. You got to buy the DLCs.
Right. Now, Destiny 2 will be available on Game Pass for PC after this time, but if you're on Xbox, you need to buy it. And as we've been putting on Twitter and been telling you, all of this content is 60% off right now. Yes. At least I assume it still is. I mean, it's Bungie after the last 12 said, hey, this is going on sale soon, so look for that sale. Everything was 60% off. I've seen a bunch of streamers and people tweeting about it, talking about it. It's all deeply discounted. Go buy it while it's deeply discounted. If you wait until like December 10th and then say, oh no, I didn't get the sale and I lost all my things, you should be listening to our show because we give you all the information. It may not be as long, it may not be as you're the top listen in your Spotify Unwrapped, but we will give you all the information. Like, go buy your Destiny 2 before you lose it, and then you're sad, and then you'll have to go play something like Fortnite, and then you'll just be sad that you're not playing Destiny with your friends.
I'm still trying to think of someone that I know
play
who actually
Fortnite.
I was gonna ask, I'm trying to think, who do I know who thoroughly plays Fortnite these days?
Every younger child in the entire world.
Why?
Everyone.
Why are you trying to compare Fortnite?
Just the first game that popped into my brain. Could have been Minecraft.
I've got nothing against. I don't have anything personal against the game. I'm just trying to. I play Destiny over it. I'm just trying to think of who actually.
I have something personal with the game from watching people play it. The fact that when you get shot once and then you build a freaking mansion to hide in, that's a problem. All right. That's
what about a mansion? What about a mansion respawn?
I said somebody gets popped once and then they build a mansion to hide themselves in 0.3
He's got
seconds.
PTSD from Titans putting up bubbles and protecting themselves in any other game.
No houses. There should be no houses in his shooter. That's all.
You
You
keep
can't-
talking
you
about
can't-
me having Titan PTSD. No, if I see a Titan bubble, I have no PTSD. I just leave it the hell alone. It'll go away
Exactly.
eventually. Yeah.
So if somebody builds a house
congratulations.
around them
you
to
put
protect
it on
them,
B.
it's like a Titan putting their bubble up.
No,
or the
it's
shield
nowhere
up.
near the same.
It is.
It's nowhere
That's
near the
why
same.
that's why you've got
Nope.
the PTSD against
It's not
it.
even close to the same.
It
If
is.
you
Because I don't
don't-
mind a Titan bubble. Like,
you
oh
don't
yeah,
go-
you
you don't
put a
go in the
bubble on
bubble, you
B.
don't go in the house.
Congratulations, you have B. I'm gonna go to A. All right, you hang out right there. I'm going over here. That's fine.
Yeah, so,
I get it. Totally get it.
just don't go in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as a reminder, when we say
That's
you
his
lose,
house. He lives there. Just let him have it, man.
yeah,
He
it's his
earned it.
house. He lives there now. Yeah. So again, if you are playing on Game Pass, you're going to lose, your expansion quests, the additional campaigns, your stasis subclass, all of it, because that's part of Beyond Light, the middle tree supers of each subclass. The purchase of any major expansion, except for the 30th anniversary pack, will unlock these subclass supers. So if you go buy Witch Queen, it'll give you the expansion. Buy Beyond Light, buy Witch Queen, buy Beyond Light, it will give you your middle tree supers back. You can't just buy the 30th anniversary pack to get your supers back, because that's actually not a major expansion. And your 10% off perk for silver, which, whatever. But Bungie does reiterate, items such as exotics already acquired will still be available to all the players who earned them, and the season pass will remain active. So anything any season pass or anything you've earned in the game and have in your possession, and I assume this goes for collections as well, they're not going to invalidate it in your collection. If you've earned that exotic and just don't happen to have one on you, you still have it. But if you're at step 9 of 10 on that quest, finish it up before December 7th, because if you don't own the content, it goes away.
And Peroty, did we talk about the moments of triumph thing that they knew about?
Sure did.
What?
Where you have to go run 4 lost sectors, not just 1 lost sector. Because numbers
Yep,
are hard.
there we go.
And probably in French, it says you have to run 16 lost sectors, but yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah,
In
and those are all the issues they talk about. And again, they're beating the drum of Game Pass. You lose access on the Xbox Game Pass, so buy the content or be sad. And then we have some lovely movies and lovely artwork, and we've made it to the end of this 12.
Indeed, there's some really. The movies are kind of meh this week, but the art is on point. Right here,
The Osiris art.
the Osiris art is good. I like
Yeah.
the quote they had at the bottom of it, right? Because we all know the thing that goes on between Osiris and Saint 14, and it shows Osiris right here, just bathed in gold while he's placing down his healing rift, and then it says, "He is beautiful like this." Saint thinks, luminously alive. I guess that was before his ghost died, but. Yeah, the whole thing right here, how they describe the way it looks, traces go through his body like tongues of fire, tuning every nerve and vein into threads of gold. This is well done. But
That.
I'm a fan of this warlock right here. This is actually what my
Ooh.
warlock looks like, except I don't have the stag helmet on. I have a different helmet. But this is exactly how my warlock looks right now. And it's a good look on her. It's a very, very good look on her. Well done. Very
And
good job.
another thing, what it says at the top says, "Now it is my turn to stalk you amongst long." That is a good
Yeah.
not quote, but that is a very cool thing to say with an art
I
like
am
that.
prey no longer. Well, and you're still prey. Sorry, Mr. Warlock. Unless you're running top 3 Dawn, you're still prey.
It might-
that
you
warlock,
might be,
has,
but it's-
that warlock
Dawn
has
is
arc
Hunter.
buddies.
Oh,
that
that's
warlock
true.
has arc buddies. I guarantee you,
That
those
is
hands are
true.
about to become 2 arc buddies, and it's all over for you. He is no longer. He or
He
she
may
is
not
no longer
actually
prey.
be, but he certainly. Yeah, he might not actually, but he certainly looks the part.
Yeah, that's fair. I forgot about the arc buddies. Good call.
Oh,
Alright,
never
and,
forget about the arc buddies, because they won't forget about you.
No, they
They'll
will
follow
chase
you,
you
they
to the
will-
next zone. Yeah, I've been killed by an arc buddy after the match ended and another one began, and I got hit by an
Mhm.
arc buddy from the previous match. It's crazy, man.
They'll follow you to
Um,
your house. You'll wake up in the morning, and there it is, waiting for you.
Nitedemon sent me a picture of a shotgun called the Marathon. The Witch Queen showcase.
No.
This is not an ornament.
And
Yeah.
and why did he send this to you?
Because it's part of
Respawn's Report
Respawn
Roundup
Report
time.
Roundup. Yeah.
Excellent.
Cue theme music.
Yeah. So what about this fancy shotgun?
This is a D1 shotgun, isn't it?
Nope.
Because I remember these rings from something right here. These 2 rings. I
It
remember
looks
these
very
rings
similar
from somewhere.
to the Iron Banner weapons that came out. You remember there was a couple of Iron Banner weapons that looked like rusted metal that had these kind of loops on them from Rise of Iron.
Is that what I'm remembering that from? Not D1?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but yeah, this is
vaguely.
this look seems very familiar to me. And it's called the Marathon shotgun showed during the Destiny 2 the Witch Queen showcase, and this is not an ornament. This is a shotgun. Everybody.
It actually looks very similar to the Chaperone, except for like the 2 giant iron rings on the handle.
First of all, I'm noticing there's no trigger,
You
right?
don't need to trigger where we're going.
You're
Mhm.
right.
And second of
Is-
all, this barrel looks like it would be a spread barrel and not a slug barrel. So I'm hoping that this would be a slug because a short barrel rifle like this would only be good in like melee range.
Extreme close quarters.
Yeah, that's a melee shotgun right there. It looks good though.
Extremely.
Good style. Good.
So I wonder if this has to do. I mean, I assume it has something to do with Bungie's older game called Marathon. I never played it. It was a little before my gaming time, or at least on
I
my
didn't even
gaming
know what that
platform.
was.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie has an older game called Marathon
Obviously, you just said that.
that I don't. Yeah, so I mean, it's like clearly feels like a reference to that, but I don't know in what way. But it's interesting that it's
Maybe.
not an ornament; it's an actual
Maybe
weapon. That's kind
maybe this is an exotic, and every time you get a kill, it puts a round back in the magazine. Hence the Marathon reference. You know, you get a kill, puts a round back in, gets you ready for the next kill. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it powers it up. Who knows?
you can
Man?
chop
Who
me
knows?
after run a marathon.
Yeah. So we have a screenshot of a phone tweet. Let's see if I can read this. Destiny News says 9 horse. And then they say new Bungie 30th anniversary dungeon, Grasp of Avarice. Also looks like 30th anniversary pack. Owners will get additional reward chests in the free Dares of Eternity activity. And I'll be honest, everything else is too small to read. So
That's the gist of it.
yeah, trying
Have
to send
you-
a screenshot next time.
Have you seen the Space Force?
There's
There's a
Space
Space Horse.
Unicorn!
We're getting Space Horses. It's going to be amazing. Horse Racing League is going to be incredible.
What is AZ talking about? People are not going to like the second one. The second
Yep.
what?
People getting the second chest if they pay for the expansion pack.
Ah, gotcha. Let's see. Peroty sent me a thing.
Yeah, it's something the DMG put out earlier, I think last week.
Mhm.
Yeah, right end of November.
Well, I think that's fair. That if you pay for the expansion and you run that dungeon, you get an extra chest. You get an extra chance of getting that loot because you've paid for that expansion. And I've got no issue with people not paying for the expansion, being able to run that dungeon and get one-time chance at getting whatever it is at the end. Whereas if we've paid for it, we should get double the amount of goes at it, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
That's fair.
We're not paying. We're just paying for an additional pull of that slot machine.
Pretty much. Yep. And then we have re-exotic one. We already talked about that, how you can just buy them. 6 years working on this.
Are you actually reading anything that's in here? Because you mentioned the other one and then didn't actually say anything about it.
Well, I thought you were finished talking about it, because then my D&D is like, hey, we're doing this and that. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm almost done. Destiny 2 community apps, phone or browser do you use most often? Which ones do you use more often? It doesn't matter if they've been around since D1 or have just popped up in the last month. Cool. He's just asking, what do you use?
So this is actually a massive, like it was like 1,100 responses when I saw it earlier this week. This massive Twitter thread that we'll put in the show notes, or just if you follow DMG, you probably saw it. Go through that list because there's some really good stuff in there. I mean, everybody sort of knows about Ishar Commander, Destiny Item Manager, sort of the big ones that everybody points to immediately and goes, oh, that's amazing. You should use this. You should use that. There's some really, really good hidden stuff in this community that I, had not even seen anybody talking about in the years we've been doing this. There's a whole Destiny.
I don't think we've really Go ahead, Peroty.
Oh, sir, there is an entire list in our show notes every week. We put a lot of these out there. There's one I forgot about. There's a ghost overlay for D2. If you play on PC, you can have like an overlay for the game and like the Xbox pop-up thing that like brings up your ghost information and stuff like that. There's a Destiny clan dashboard.com that will give you like information about your clan and who's playing and who's active and who's not. That's really cool.
Yep.
There's a Destiny power bars link.
Point is,
is
there's
both
a big
delicious
list.
and it'll
Yes.
tell you, all sorts of good stuff about what you've got available. And there's a whole link tree to these different Destiny spreadsheets of all of like these spreadsheets, the ones that Destiny Massive Breakdowns talks about and where people get their, god rolls from, where all the stuff comes from. There's just some really good stuff in there. So if you're sitting here going, I wonder if there's an app to do that or do this, or what are these apps? People say dim all the time. What is it? Where do I find it? This thread has a massive list of stuff that you can go check out if there's something you've been looking for. There's some really cool stuff in there.
Moving on,
That's
we
all.
have exotic ornaments can be bought directly from their ornaments section. We already talked about that. Ben Hollis says 6 years. 6 years working on this at DIM. 1,800 pull requests so far. Feels great to be able to show it off in game. Hashtag PS4 share. I'm guessing he's talking about the new emblem. Yeah, right here, the new emblem. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. That's what it looks like when somebody has contributed to some kind of third-party program that helps the game out. Very cool.
Yeah, just some of the API. I thought it was neat. So they are out there in the wild.
Mhm.
At least one of the dim devs has one right there. So if you see
And
that one, go give those people things and dance near them.
and Mono Destra. New image, most likely the new six-man dares of eternity, Xur and Horse. From Trials of the Nine, source Bungie Twitter. It is a space unicorn, everybody. And just so
It's
you're
not
what
Space Unicorn, it's a
for
space
everybody,
horsey.
for everybody that was wondering, this is Hunter exclusive, okay? Hunters are going to get to ride a horse instead of a sparrow, and only hunters, because hunters are hunters, and hunters traditionally ride horses. You've never seen a Titan wear a horse. Titans are too heavy. You wouldn't see
If you
a
would like the
warlock
ability
wear a
to
horse
ride
or ride a horse because warlocks can fly. So this is for hunters only. All you other classes,
if
I
you
don't
would
care.
like this, if you would like this, you must become a hunter. There is no other way.
Hunter mains get horses. That's all there is to it. This isn't propaganda. This is just reality. Sorry, guys.
This is the horses for hunters campaign.
Right.
Can I
And
trade in my horse? Can I trade in my sparrow and get a horse? That's all I want to know. Can
as
I
long
ride a
as you
space
trade your
horsey
butt
around?
cave for a cowl, yes.
Oh, that's fine. I've got a hunter. He can have the horse. I have a hunter. He's there.
Yep.
He's there ready to throw ice tornadoes and ride horses in the battle.
There you go.
Hello there. It's your friendly neighborhood Nitedemon here, just to give you a friendly reminder of what is happening next week in Destiny. We have the Bungie 30th anniversary pack launching. Rise to the challenge when Moments of Trance begin. Rescue the Lost Techian in the Corrupted Nightfall, and that will also be our featured Grand Master of the Week. Iron Banner is live with bonus Crucible ranks. Hey, Iron Banner's back! Amazing. And then Momentum Control returns to the Crucible. Now, because Peroty is not here to tell you, Momentum Control is basically gunplay. Anything gun-wise will kill in an instant. Supers and abilities regenerate slower, so it is practically about gunplay. So scout rifles are your best bet there. So if you are looking to do catalysts for, say, your Jade Rabbit, your Mida, that's the place to do it in, Momentum Control. So we have 2 challenges up next week. We have Momentum Crash, which is defeat Guardians and Momentum Control, and bonus progress with Zone Advantage, and you have to get 75 of those. And then we also have the Iron Sharpens Iron, which is complete Iron Banner matches and bonus progress for wins. So there you go. You have some challenges next week if you haven't completed those. And don't forget, if you complete 75 of the 78 challenges, you will get a large pile of Bright Dust for participating, basically. So our legendary lost sectors for next week. And don't forget, legendary lost sectors are a lot easier than the master lost sectors, but there will be 2 available each day. One is a legendary, one is a master. Legendary a lot easier, lower drop rate of the exotics to drop. And the legendary will shift to be the master the following day. So as an example, Monday the 6th of December will be the K1 Communion on the moon, giving you a chess piece. That will still give you your chess piece on Tuesday at the reset, but it will become the master lost sector. That's how it works. So if you are searching out for any of the exotics, any of the new ones, or just trying to farm for ones that you've already got, different roles, go for that. Starting with Monday, the 6th of December, is the K1 Communion on the moon, giving you your chess piece, and Time Sausage Gaming has got a guide for you for that. Tuesday at Reset on the 7th of December, which is our 30th anniversary day, is the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon, giving you your helmets, and Time Sausage Gaming has got a guide for you for that. Wednesday the 8th of December, that will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon, giving you your legs, and PV Shifty has got a guide for you for that. The 9th of December will be the Concealed Void on Europa. We'll be giving you your arms, and PV Shifty will give you a guide for that. On Friday the 10th of December, that would be Bunker E15 on Europa, giving you your chess pieces. PV Shifty again has another guide for you for that. Saturday the 11th of December will be Perdition on Europa, giving helmets, and PV Shifty will be giving you a guide for you for that. Sunday the 12th of December will be the Bay of Drowning Wishes on the Dreaming City, giving you your legs, and Abby Hour has a guide for you for that. And then back around to Monday the 13th of December will be the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, giving you your arms, and PV Shifty rounds out the week for you. So there you go. And now back to your pre-recorded show.
All right, guys, I got about 6 minutes, so let's do this outro so I can dip.
6 minutes. There's
Yeah.
so much more to discuss.
You're going to miss the rest of the show.
Then I'll miss the rest of the show. Technically, I'm 34 minutes late for D&D. So.
Well, technically, you didn't schedule well.
No.
Or we didn't
I
schedule well.
didn't schedule this at all!
Well, when he said, "Is this okay?" you didn't say no, so therefore you agreed to it.
Because I didn't think it would take this long.
Hang on a minute. Our 150th episode, you didn't think it would take this long.
I didn't think it was the 150th episode. I'll be real with you.
Riz, are you a hunter?
Yes. Yes.
Well, there
Did
you
you know
go.
it was going to take this long? Because I bet you did. I bet everybody at home knew it was going to take this long. People who didn't listen to the show before knew it would take this long.
Oh my god, you're messing with me. Move on!
Because it's taking long. But actually, that reminds me of a story of the time that Respawn showed up and was like, maybe guys, it won't take this long.
Wow.
And just like that, he's gone.
And when we're back with Two Titans and a Hunter.
Yes.
Hey, it works out great.
How are his shoes feeling? Oh god, he's back.
Yeah.
And now we have Two Titans and Two Hunters, and now it's all wrong again.
Yeah.
We were perfect before, and now you've ruined it.
They told me to kick your ass, and Nelsey, who's in our podcast, is all like, no, the other two guys are way nicer than him.
I mean, Respawn. See, the problem with your hunter plan is there's way too many of you. We can replace you with any hunter. I mean,
You can't replace
go
me.
hunting for a warlock.
That is stupid. You might be able to.
We already had like 3
another
seconds
hunter,
ago.
but you can't replace me with another hunter. Just like you can't replace Cade with another hunter. There's a lot of hunters out there, but you can't replace one with another just because they're a hunter. Sorry, bud. We're
You
not
can
like
physically
Titans.
replace their position.
Yeah, you can replace their position, but you can't replace them, bud. All right.
You can fill the shoes, but can you
We're
replace
not
the
cookie
shoes?
cutter. We're not cookie cutter crayon eating Titans. All right. Each one of us are individuals. We each have our own personalities and all that other stuff. So yeah.
Do you though?
Yeah.
I mean, I play a lot of PvP, and I see a lot of hunters. Y'all dress the same. I'm not gonna say you all wear the
That's
same
because
tailor,
it's the
but
uniform.
but
That's just the uniform.
sure-
It
I'm pretty
doesn't
sure y'all
mean
wear the
that
same
we
tailor.
act the same. We just dress the same. That's all.
I beg to
It's
differ about
called
that
being
too.
tactical. Every Marine in the Marine Corps is a different person, but they all have to dress the same, dude.
Are they
Anyway,
though?
so talking about your Mano Destra post that you've got in your Respawn's Report Roundup, do you think it's going to be this Dares of Eternity? It's going to be a selection wheel that we push a button, or just like the Drifter, he decides for us who we're going to be fighting, which enemy race? Because it looks like
care.
on the symbols on there that it's every enemy race. We've got Fallen, we've got
Hive,
the Cabal.
Taken,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't care.
Versus
I have to ask.
We'll
what
find out
faction
in
is
literally
that
5 days. No, we won't. I'm sorry. It's gonna be
Oh, yeah,
longer
5
than
days.
5 days. No,
Comes
no.
out December 7th. That's 5 days.
This right here
Yeah.
comes out December 7th too? Okay, well, 5
Yes.
days. There we go.
You're on a
Boom.
podcast that should know this.
I'm on a podcast purely for comedic support, okay?
Yes.
And comedic support we have gotten.
So,
Yes.
are you sticking
The
around
7th
for
of
the rest of the
December.
show then, Respawn?
There is no rest of the show.
There is.
No, there's
Parody and I
not.
have got some discussion things that we want to discuss.
No, you don't.
We do, honestly.
You don't.
I do.
And it's how we
No.
feel. I've got a 34-minute discussion about how cool the horse is and how I want a Destiny horse because this horse is incredible.
Let's like in all seriousness, that is a really cool looking horse.
Oh
though.
my god! I tell you what, y'all give me the cliff notes if y'all need my attention.
If
Just get me on Discord. I'll pop back in.
so, as you guys know, the 30th anniversary is releasing on the 7th of December, and we've had a bunch of information with changes to sandbox, changes to weapons, changes to how we're actually going to be playing the game. And
Quick question: what haven't they changed? Because like with a list like that, there's not very much
How
room
broken
left
the
to happen.
Tellisto is.
yeah. Now, last week we highlighted that I think it was Firing Range, the DCP shoot off podcast, had Kevin Yanis and I can't remember the other guy's name, going on there and discussing their thoughts and their philosophies behind why they wanted to kind of have it changed. And there was quite a few interesting things, so I went back and listened to it. And they were talking about, they didn't kind of go into numbers as such because they want us to kind of get a feel for things, and basically Fallout to actually give us a video on damage numbers and how things are actually going to be changing. So they were talking about super gains and how it's not going to feel too different from what we have now, and there may be certain things that may need to be adjusted. And I think it was, listening to it, it was like what we said last week, it's just a piece of the puzzle. And what was interesting to find out was that the things that they're putting in place for the 7th of December aren't necessarily the things that are going to be relevant and you'll see come to fruition until like the Witch Queen, or even seasons after that when we get the 3.0 version of the supers and the ability regeneration. So they were saying things like you may not see why we've changed it now, but you'll see it in like 6 to a year's time why everything's kind of had to be changed. So I won't spoil it all because I won't go into too much detail, but go and listen to it. I will link it back in the show notes if you haven't listened to it. But with that, I was thinking, because there was a lot of weapons and armor to look out for coming that we already have to our, that we could utilize to our advantage with these new changes. And with the focus being PvP and gunplay rather than ability spamming, I thought we'd kind of have a look at these and maybe point some of the listeners in the direction of maybe trying these out to see if they do enhance their gameplay or their gunplay. So I've given Peroty a list of these as well, Riz. So if you can think of anything, or chime in as and when.
All right, sounds good to me.
Starting with exotic helmets, we've got the Foe Tracer, which is an exotic hunter helmet. Its perk is Relentless Tracker. It visually marks targeted enemies and deals more damage to low health marked enemies. So this is going to be quite interesting because of more gunplay and being able to kind of use an exotic for giving more damage. I think this is one it's very underutilized at the moment. I don't think it's used enough, but it has that utility of kind of tracking people and giving you extra damage on weapons, where you can stack extra like damage perks. Like you can have kill clip, you can have rampage going, you get a kill, you move on to the next target, they may be low health because they're running away from somebody else, you're then potentially on a kill streak.
When it says visually marks targeted enemies, is that an enemy you've dealt damage to? Like what defines a targeted enemy? Do you know by chance?
I think
Either of you?
I think it's when you sight down and they can even just run past you. It marks them with like that red X that you can see, that even the kind of wall hack kind of thing. So you see them move.
Okay.
So that you don't necessarily have had to have shot them either.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was wondering, because I mean, it seems Yeah, that's what that was the question in my head is, do you have to do, how does that work? Do you have to do damage to them? But yeah, if you're playing something PvP, especially if you're doing something like trials or competitive, where it's advantageous to know where your enemy is, be able to mark them just by seeing them or ADSing them and seeing them. That's really powerful, especially because, like you said, the everything seems like it's going to hinge on gunplay, and gunplay is going to at least Bungie would like gunplay to be the primary way we're interacting and fighting each other in PvP. I'm just rambling now.
Some of these other exotics that I've listed are ones where they help your ability regen a lot better. I mean, like we've got the Mask of the Quiet One, which is exotic Titan helmet, and its dreaded visage. It grants ability energy when you're damaged. So when critically wounded, you regain maximum health on kills. So you're gaining ability energy whilst taking damage, which is also part of the gunplay aspect of you will get more super energy, or you'll get energy towards your super whilst being in combat. So this plays into that. If you're in combat and you're taking damage, you do have the chance at regaining maximum health on a kill and potentially getting energy for your abilities. It's one of those ones you don't see at the moment. It's one of those weird ones, a bit like the Foe Tracer. We've got Nezarec Synth, which is an exotic warlock helmet, which is abyssal extractors. Void damage increases the ability energy recharge rate. You do see this every kind of now and then, but I think if you're pairing up with a void weapon like Telesto or Ignoring Hunger, things like this are kind of going to start coming into the game a lot more, with people looking at how they can focus on regenning either their ability energy, or making their gunplay more attractive and getting more out of the exotics, utilizing them more.
Yeah, Bungie is essentially like they're making the exotics that revolve around gunplay instead of ability. They're making those more viable to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at these last. I mean, I know the Nezarec Sin sort of comes and goes and rises and falls as its synergy with just Void waxes and wanes. And with the Void 3.0 rework we're getting in Witch Queen, could be leading into a nice, a new era for all the Void subclasses that they're, getting those major reworks to. And yeah, and Foe Tracer and Mask of the Quiet One both, it's like they're out there, but yeah, they're not getting a lot of play because they don't really give you what you need right now. And
No.
we're sort of like the like the Sun Bracers for the exotics, the exotic Warlock gauntlets give you the helium spirals. Increases the duration of your solar grenades. Solar melee kills grant unlimited grenades for a brief time, which is way too much fun when you can proc it. But especially with grenades coming at a premium, if you can throw out those 6 or 7 grenades in real quick succession, that's going to be superly powerful if you're trying to hold down a zone or capture a zone, or even just clear enemies out, or just go crazy and throw them around trying to knock the other enemy team down.
The thing is, with the Sun Bracers, you can throw out the grenade, get the melee kill, and then you can throw out the rest of the grenades like you were saying. But if you hold the last one and don't throw it out, you've then got another grenade that you can throw out again later, and then get another melee, and then proc that rotation over and over again, which is why I think Sun Bracers are quite potentially, they could be quite dangerous to be used.
Yeah.
And Nitedemon, another one
that.
And another one that I found, and maybe this isn't, I guess, maybe as viable as some of the others, but the transversive steps where it's you while sprinting you reload a weapon.
Yeah,
if you're running cross map for whatever reason, like that's definitely gonna maybe not come to the top of the list, but it's definitely gonna rise.
But it's one of those ones that if you're running away from being, taking damage, and you've wasted all your bullets or whatever, if you're running with like your shotgun and it automatically reloads after a short time, that's going to help, because you can turn, shoot, and then even if you do miss, you can continue to run and it automatically reloads. You've got another shot at it without having to pause to reload. Whereas the person behind you that isn't running that is going to have a little bit of an issue.
And like, it doesn't even have to be like a lot of reload. I don't know if it specifies whether it's the entire clip reloaded or if it's just like 1 or 2 shots. But like 1 or 2 shots, especially with something like a shotgun, that can change like the situation you're in.
Yeah,
you might still die, but the other guy might too.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That you're going to see more and more versatility in what you can actually use and how you play the game.
And that makes Bungie happy. Mixing the meta up, change the versatility. But yeah, those transversive steps give you that strange protractor. Your sprint speed is increased, and after a short time sprinting, your currently equipped weapon is automatically reloaded. Which, yeah, as we said, depending what that is, especially could change things up or give you extra time to get away, or even just that extra speed is handy. And then for another one for the hunters, Mechaneer's trick sleeves. Your exotic hunter gauntlets, spring-loaded mounting, increases sidearm ready and reload speed, while critically wounded, swapping to a sidearm increases its damage.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot that exotic even existed.
Yeah,
The
that's
thing is,
one.
you can pair that with I can't remember the name of the mod now, but there's a mod that you can actually get. It's on Void armor pieces. I'm just gonna have a quick look because I did put it on earlier today. I was messing about with my hunter and I put on the Mechaneer's trick sleeves, and I thought it'd be fun to see if I can get this build going. If I find the mod. So you've got surprise attack, which only costs you 1 energy. Minus 10 in intellect, but it says while charged with light, reloading or readying a sidearm will consume all stacks of charged with light and convert them into a stack of major damage buff, which depletes as you damage a combatant with that sidearm. So again, you can, if you're charged with light, you've got this out, you've got the Mechaneer's trick sleeves, you could vaporize somebody very, very quickly.
That's going to be interesting too with the Cryosthesia 77K,
Cryosthesia?
because they reworked that gun entirely to make it more viable. And Respawn is still, I'm sure, looking for friends to help him with his Rat King, getting his Rat King catalyst done.
One that I like pairing it with is the Devil's Ruin. So that's one that if you hold down the button, it gives you that beam like fusion rifle.
Yeah, that or the Iron Banner Fool's Remedy, that full auto ball of hurt that thing turns into with extra damage on that. Vicious.
Riz?
And another one that I found that I'm just gonna put out there was Actium, which I know Respawn doesn't like. And I think
everyone likes the War Pig.
And let's be honest, if you don't know what that is, hi, welcome to Destiny. The Titans love this chess piece. Not very many people do, except for the Titans, I mean.
Yeah.
Because they can't use it and they're sad that they're not Titans. And they see the problem is if you're not a Titan, reloading, it breaks your immersion. I don't like my immersion being broken. I like to just shoot and never stop shooting. So yeah, the ITM War Rig comes with the auto-loading Link perk, which steadily reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifle or machine gun's magazine from reserves. And what they don't say is it also works with trace rifles. That is right.
Oh, really?
As I say that, I'm now doubting myself. Does it work with trace rifles, or am I just making that up on the spot?
It did.
Don't ask me. I've never heard of this till now.
Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure it did work with the trace rifles. It basically treats the trace rifle as an auto rifle and a machine gun. So yeah, so anything basically that shoots constantly, you put the Actium War Rig on, and you're just shooting. Again, if you want me to engage in gunplay, that's a good way to do it. Especially where auto rifles tend to sit in the meta, especially in 6s.
Yeah, and on the other line, I think it's just auto rifles and machine guns and trace rifles. I don't think it falls under the line of just something with a high clip, like
no,
like those 30-round SMGs. No,
yeah,
it needs to specifically be autos, machine guns, and supposedly, from what I'm hearing, trace rifles.
Yeah, I think it works with trace rifles, but now that I say that, I'm not positive.
We'll get back to you on that.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So our next piece that maybe to look out for is the Omni Oculus, which is exotic hunter chess piece. And that's perk is Beyond the Veil. You gain a second smoke bomb and have damage resistance while invisible. While you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance whilst invisible, and you gain melee energy. So again, this is going to be one that's a good teamwork one, that if you're making your allies invisible, they gain the damage resistance whilst they're invisible, and you gain extra melee energy to then give another smoke bomb. So it's one of these synergy things that it's going to keep coming back to enhance people's gameplay.
Lucky Pants was another one that I've been finding. Oathkeeper's Gauntlets was another. And these are just all in the hunters. I don't know if I consider young Ahamkar's Spine if we're counting grenades.
Well, but I think for PvP, anything that helps your grenade buff and anything else that reload time decrease is going to be helpful. And
But
yes,
yeah,
according to Reddit and the Destiny forums, trace rifles do work with the Actium War Rig. I'm not totally crazy.
I mean, one that's going to work well for the Titans, especially seen as that the arc's going to be slightly touched, going to solar. The Hallowfire Heart exotic chest piece. So Sunfire Furnace improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities and grants improved recharge rate whilst your super is charged. And now this thing is pretty crazy at the moment. If you've got a full super and you are throwing out grenades, especially those ones that go along the floor, you can get one back very, very quickly. I don't know what it's going to be like with the changes coming up on the 7th, but if you're one of these people that just keeps your super back and just uses gunplay and have the ability to spam your grenades to the point that you've got them at the moment that you can spam them, if this is kind of how they're changing, that's going to be a good one to look out for.
would we consider Antaeus wards as one? The ones where it deflects the bullets if you're sliding?
No, I wouldn't actually, to be honest, because they've changed that so much. It used to be if you deflected it, it gave you super energy. Now it just deflects the bullets back to the person that's shooting. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be one that is going to be picked up as much. I think you're going to find Titans sliding less.
Yeah, and I mean that's one too. It's so high risk and high reward. It's like if you can hit it, good on you. But it's absolutely, it either does you some good or you're just laying yourself out to be shotgunned to death, or gunned
Yeah,
down
they
from a
nailed
hand
that
cannon
one
from
into the
across the room.
ground, didn't they, for what it was being spammed for?
Yeah, it was real good there for a few minutes, and then they said, "No, there will be none
I
of
could be
this."
wrong, but yeah.
There is that one guy out there. Looking, you just there's absolutely someone out there who will be an absolute god with these things on. There's always somebody, and that's their pet exotic. But for most of us, I think we forget that exists half the time.
Another one that's quite good for the Warlocks is the Mantle of Battle Harmony. So Absorption
I was
Cells
looking at that.
is takedowns with weapons that have a damage type that match your subclass element grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that type matching your subclass. So this is going to be a good one to pair with, say, the Vex Mythoclass if you're running a solar subclass and you don't want to use your super, and it's one that you can charge up really, really fast. So Well of Radiance, because it's in that tier 5, that's going to be the faster kind of generation. If you can spec yourself into intellect, you've got this on and you can get your the solar weapons are doing damage, and then it's going to give you that extra boost of doing more damage on top of that if your super's charged. So I see that as a good win-win, that you're holding back your super but you're using it for your gunplay.
And that could pair really well with some of the well mods.
Yeah.
Like your Well of Tenacity or Void Elemental Well grants damage reduction. Or I mean really just any of those well mods on a Void Elemental on your next kill when using your class ability. You could really spec into that as I say I'm going all in on one certain type of damage and really enjoy the synergy back and forth between your abilities, your weapons, your grenades, the whole thing, and just have it feed either damage reduction or damage boosts between your wells and your Mantle of Battle Harmony as a warlock. That could be real fun.
And Nike, did you mention the Ophidian aspect?
No, they're gauntlets, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gauntlets. I just didn't know because I know with that one it's the Cobra Totemic. It improves the weapon ready speed, the reload, and your melee range. I'm very sure especially with things like hand cannons and shotguns, I'm sure those are going to be a little bit more viable for when you use those types of weapons.
Yeah.
Ready
that's
reload's
good,
never
yeah.
bad. Now I wonder, the melee range being extended because they're bringing did they mention these? Because I know they're bringing the Warlock's melee range up to finally the range and ability
melee
match up with the
speed,
other
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Range and melee speed is going to match Hunters and Titans going forward on the 7th.
Yeah, so they're bringing the range down and the speed up so it matches the other two classes. I wonder if this will give you a little bit boost of that range still. So now that you can melee as often as the other two classes, will this give you that little bit of range boost still that they're taking away intrinsically?
I'm sure they have to, because if they don't, like, even though they're upping the melee range upping the melee range for the Warlocks, if they just incorporate it so that this doesn't affect that, it therefore just like destroys the whole point of having that perk on the exotic. It'd just be good for weapon ready, speed, and reload.
Yeah, that may not be enough to justify running it. Oh, yeah, I mean, depending
But
where you're
even
running it
that,
too.
that's quite good to use the weapon ready speed. I mean, the melee thing is again a high risk, high reward because you don't really
Right.
want to kind of get into a slap fight unless you know you're going to win. But yeah,
Unless you're the best slapper.
exactly. Now, one that I wasn't sure about, but it could potentially work. I mean, at the moment, you've got warlocks throwing out those arc grenades, and the chaining lightning seems to get everybody in the room, doesn't it? About 10 times. It's so hard to get away from. Lucky
Yep.
Raspberry is the Hunter exotic chess piece. Now, their one is Problematics Matrix.
Probability
Sorry,
matrix.
probability matrix. Yeah,
It may be
increases
problematic.
yeah, increases the chaining capabilities of arc bolt grenades and has a chance to recharge it every time it deals damage. A full
Ooh.
chain always recharges. So if you've got like 4 people standing on a capture zone, especially Iron Banner, and it chains between the 4 of them before they can all get away from each other, you potentially then have another grenade that you can throw out. So this might be one that
Keep an eye out for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely potential with this one.
We then have Peacekeepers, the exotic Titan boots, the Mechaneer holster, reloads stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly, improves your handling with SMGs and your movement whilst wielding one.
Yeah, so you've got your ATM war rig for your auto rifles, trace rifles, and machine guns, and then you've got your peacekeepers for your SMGs. And I know Fallout just put out a video, I think it was this week, about SMGs and hand cannons, and SMGs can do some real work at those mid and close encounters. God, my words tonight are failing me. SMGs can sort of fill that hole of I'm a close person, and if I can just swap SMGs, because when you put these on, you can just swap instantly, and your gun is reloaded, ready to go. So if you're running like a double SMG build, which there's some real vicious ones out there right now.
Oh yeah, I mean you could run
absolutely do some work.
Multi-Mac in your primary slot. You can run the Shira's Wrath in your secondary.
Done.
So,
say no more.
Yeah,
and you could be
yeah. Huckleberry's still a viable one these days. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's out there. It's not one you see nearly as much. I mean, Risk Runner. Heck, if you're trying to pair it, your buddy doing arc damage, run the Risk Runner out there and chain that till you're blue in the face.
Yeah.
Another good one for the Titan. This Respawn's favorite, the Path of the Burning Steps. The exotic Titan boots has the Firewalker perk, where your solar final blows periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. You are harder to slow or freeze with stasis, and when you break out, you take no damage from doing so, and you create a small burst of solar energy around yourself.
Definitely a good one, especially with the Vex. I think that stacks up to 3 times as well.
Yeah, that's what I've gotten and never really. I have them, but I've never really played. And then your Lunafaction boots on the Warlocks has the alchemic etchings. Your rifts gain the additional ability to increase weapon reload speeds. Empowering rifts makes weapons effective over longer ranges. So yeah, you can either have increased weapon reload speed or give you a little extra range, which, I mean, standing in a rift, Lunafaction boots isn't one I usually go to, but
if you make it empowering, it gives you the extra damage over longer ranges. So this is playing into that gunplay again.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to do any 3v3 activity too, where there's just fewer of you, trials or competitive or showdown or whatever. I can give you a little extra boost.
Shoot, have we considered putting the Aeon, like the Aeon Soul, Swift, Gauntlets?
Nobody considers the Aeon. No.
Nobody considers them.
They're going to continue to rework those in hopes that someone uses them, but I still have not even seen anybody talk about them after they first came out. Oh, maybe this will be viable and good. Just like, I feel like every time we get an expansion or a change, someone goes, Sunshot, this could be Sunshot's moment. This is Sunshot's time to shine. And it just never is.
Yeah. I know they tried to buff it like 2 months ago, something like that, to try to make them somewhat more viable. I think that brought them back maybe not a ton, but I definitely know it boosted them up. Yeah, they got their minutes in the Sunshot or Sunshine.
Saying that though, the Aeon gauntlets that you can get for each class, so you can put on the 3 different mods any way you want, and the best one to run, especially in Crucible, is Sector Vigor, which gains class ability energy as your allies die. So in 6s, it works fantastic. So every time somebody dies, you get your ability. So hunters running these is amazing. You keep dodging and getting out of the way, so you can keep going
Of
invisible.
course, you've used these. Of
Yeah.
course. Why do I even question this?
No, and when you cast your super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sector Vigor role equipped also gain an overshield. So as long as you, I mean, it's a good one to use in sixes, especially like Iron Banner and things, where your teammates are dying a lot. You'll keep getting your ability energy. So possibilities there may be, Riz.
Yeah. Not many, but I'm sure one or two will pop up.
One that I'm not
Yeah.
sure about is the Frosties, which is the exotic boots for the hunters. Now, I think they're going to be changing these with the upcoming patch, and we'll probably find out on the 7th. But at the moment, it gives you rapid cooldowns. It increases grenade, melee, and dodge regeneration while sprinting, and dodging increases your sprint speed. I think the dodging increasing your sprint speed will still be fine, but I think it's the rapid cooldowns that they'll probably touch because they don't want you to increase your grenade and melee and your dodge as fast as you can now. So, but it'll still be. I still think it's going to be viable.
Yeah, it's probably one of those that'll still be rapid, but just not rapid to the degree it is now because they're touching the entire world of ability cooldowns.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I think like we said, anything that increases that is going to help you out.
So another one for weapon play is Lucky Pants, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
with its illegally modded holster. When you ready, a fully loaded hand cannon that deals kinetic damage or deals a damage type that matches your subclass, each hit from that hand cannon increases the damage of the next shot for a short amount of time against a combatant. Hand cannons ready faster and are more accurately immediately after swapping to them. So now this says combatant for the damage boost. Is that... I'm trying to remember my Bungie between the lines. Combatant is PvE only? Or
Combatant is PvP, and I think player is PvP.
Yeah, I mean, reading this as combatant, so I don't think the extra damage will help you in PvP.
No, it doesn't work in PvP.
Yeah, but you're ready faster and more accurate after swapping to them. That sounds like a win, especially as people tend to pair them with sniper rifle, shotgun, SMG. You're pairing it with something, get the whatever initial shot, swap to hand cannon, and then clean them up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, hand cannons have never been bad. So anything that helps your hand cannon, immediate win.
One that I've been running on my Warlock for quite a few weeks now, especially in trials, helping out the team, and you compare it with the Lumina hand cannon. Now, this is Boots of the Assembler, exotic Warlock boots, Blessing of Order. So standing in a healing rift creates noble seekers that seek out allies that are not in the rift and heals them. If you're standing in empowering rift, that creates noble seekers that grants both you and your ally a bonus in damage. So each time a noble seeker finds one of your allies, the duration of your rift is briefly extended whilst you are standing in it. So what I'm basically doing in trials is standing in the rift. These noble seekers are going out to people. If you have the Lumina on and you stand in the, not an empowering, the
Healing Rift?
if you stand in the healing rift, it sends out the empowering bonus as well as the overshield bonus, basically, or the healing bonus. So your teammates get both abilities. They get a damage boost on their weapons as well as you getting the damage boost on your weapons. So if you can hold down a corner and feed your teammates these orbs quite regularly, then it really does help.
The Luminas, the Lumina always, again, is one of those guns I forget exists in the game, and I see somebody using it and I go, oh yeah, that's an option.
Well, as far as I know, like all the ones that we've gone through, unless there's like ones that are that like have a sneaky perk that we don't notice, I really can't think of any other ones.
Well, there's one more Nitedemon is found on the weapons, or I'm sorry, on the armor side. That's the Phoenix Protocol, the exotic Warlock chest that gives you the Battle Hearth perk, which is kills and assists you make while standing in a well of radiance, returns super energy, and works with something that is cut off. So it works with something.
Works with the Bad Juju. Now, this is one that is Respawn's favourite weapon. And Bad Juju is an exotic pulse rifle that was part of a quest of Callus that we had way back when, but I think it's in the kiosk in the tower. And it's got String of Curses, which is kills refresh the magazine, increase the damage for a short duration, and it grants bonus super energy based on the strength of the string of curses, and it also fires in full auto. Now, I believe this is a 450 RPM pulse
Yep, it's
rifle,
450.
but I think this is going to be one that's going to come back up in the meta, especially for PvP. If people are going to try and gain more super energy, this weapon gives you more super energy purely based on the amount of kills that you've got strung together. If you're standing in a well of radiance getting kills, the Phoenix Protocol that's giving you more energy for getting kills whilst being in there, as well as feeding the string of curses, and the well being up, tier 5 again, being the fastest super regeneration in the game so far, this could be a very this could be like very dominant with warlocks holding down complete zones for ages. If they spec into their supers and they get the supers quicker than everybody else, then they could lock down a whole kind of part of the map. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very dangerous.
Oh yeah, and
then
if there's a well of radiance down, just you've lost. Go home. Just like Respawn was saying, don't go into the Titan bubble. The warlock has peed on that tree to claim that spot, and also all the surrounding land around it. You might as well just go home and say, "No, we're good here."
Yeah.
And another weapon that I found that has along that is the Traveler's Chosen sidearm.
Yes,
Have
but
we
they're changing that. They did mention that the stacks that you can get on that are going to be slightly depreciated
they're
from
gonna
what
be
they are
different.
at the moment. Whereas if you get
Okay.
like 1 or 2 kills, you can reload that weapon and get the damage boost, or you can get your ability energy back quicker. And I think they are
Yeah.
slightly nerfing it in how much ability energy it's going to be giving you back. But yes, again, that's going to work pretty well. The same as the Monte Carlo. We don't know how that's going to work because its exotic perk is the Monte Carlo method, which is very similar to Swashbuckler, but it ramps up the Swashbuckler very, very quickly. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. Again, it's very situational whether it works. It's a 450 RPM auto rifle, which aren't, top of the meta at the moment, but gunplay coming into these, things with abilities, it could help recharge. It's one of these things that's keep your eye on because it may help.
Yeah, big unknown. Bungie keeps saying we're going to focus on gunplay, but how is that going to play out, and which weapon type and subtype are going to be the dominant things in the new meta? Maybe it's the Devil's Ruin exotic sidearm that'll close the gap with its variable trigger. Press and release, at the moment, press and release is individual shots, hold a charge up, and stagger the stunning laser. It's strong against unstoppable champions. But the Devil's Ruin is another one they're changing to make it. Or no, sorry, that's a synesthesia. Never mind.
Yeah,
Devil's
no, but
Ruin is still going to be get your shots, charge it up, blow people away with it.
But the Devil's Ruin is it's that one that you can kind of literally fire all 14 rounds individually and hold the button down on that last one, and it will still give you that laser beam like a fusion rifle. So you can still charge it up on the last shot and still kill somebody. It's definitely one to look out for, especially if you're running Mechanist trick sleeves on your hunter.
Yep.
It's going to be very dangerous. Huckleberry, the exotic submachine gun. You've got Ride the Bull, increases the rate and fire of the recoil while you're holding down the trigger. Kills with this weapon reload a portion of your magazine, and the rampage you get on it as well. Kills with this weapon temporarily grant increased damage, and that stacks up to 3 times. So if you're running the Peacekeepers on your Titan, and you're, running around with a submachine gun, swapping over with an exotic and a Shioris, it's worth a chance, worth a look at. Or you could run your multi-mac and the Taraba, which is your exotic submachine gun in your energy slot. So this has Ravenous Beast. So this weapon stores power when dealing or receiving damage. So again, playing into that archetype of being in combat. So as long as you don't die and you're taking damage and you're giving out damage, it will store up the charge on the Taraba, and then you can, I think it's double tap the button and you can unleash the beast when full, and the bottomless appetite is dealing continuous damage, extends the duration of the Ravenous Beast. So the Ravenous Beast just it fires like it's hard to describe, but it's just it's a beast. It is absolute beast. If you've got that thing charged up, you double tap that trigger and you fire it. So somebody just gets deleted within 0.2 seconds. It's absolutely phenomenal, but you've got to charge it up to start off with. Once you've got that charge up, if you continue getting kills with it, it continuously, the damage extension is extended with the Ravenous Beast. So a good one to look out for. Risk Runner, another one. I know these are submachine guns that we're talking about, but arc conductor. So when you're taking arc damage, so any kind of arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and resistance to arc incoming damage, and kills extend the time over the duration that states. And superconductor. So when you've got this procced, when arc conductor is active, shots fired have a chance to become chain lightning and return ammo to the magazine. So if you're going up against somebody that's throwing out a lot of arc, running the Risk Runner is going to give you that kind of damage protection from them, and you can proc it yourself on several subclasses. Titans can throw down a grenade, proc it, get the damage resistance, and just go to town. And yeah,
and SMGs as a whole are just in a really good spot in the meta, and yeah, that's probably not going to change drastically with this change, but we'll see. And the last one, the Wave Slither, your exotic trace rifle, has a harmonic laser where your laser damage has 3 power levels that oscillate while the trigger is held down, and the supercharged battery, which is collecting an orb of power, grants a short period of maximum power that starts with an automatic reload. So anything you're doing, you pick up an orb, you're going to deal more damage with a fully reloaded exotic trace rifle, and then speaking of deleting enemies, they're gone. They never knew what hit them. Yeah, lots of good stuff to look out for with the 30th anniversary dropping next week, as 5 days from now. It'll be out in the world, and we'll see how some of our thoughts and predictions play out, and what guns actually rise in the meta. Will this be the Sunshot's time? Probably not. Will hand cannons still be amazing? Always.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the meta may not change, but there are certainly going to be certain kinds of weapons that are definitely going to be more viable than they were before.
I think those players that like their abilities are going to try desperately to get those abilities back to where they are at this point in time. They want those abilities. They want to be able to do their shatter dives. They still want to be able to do their, whatever they're going to do. But I don't think Bungie want them to do that.
You want that well. Yeah. If you've got a playstyle around the stag and standing in a well, or getting an arc buddy up and hanging out in that well, you're going to find ways to min-max into that. Something we talked about last week is maybe intellect is less important of a stat because you're going to get your super in other ways. So maybe you put all your stats into that discipline, and you're looking at 100 discipline builds and resilience or recovery, depending what you're trying to go for. It's they've talked about build crafting, and that's where we're going. We're getting into a world where you can actually build craft versus just, hey, I can max this out and it comes up in 15 seconds instead of 17 seconds, but now I can actually build a real build around what I'm trying to do specifically and live into that, power fantasy Bungie wants us to have. Or you'll keep doing the same thing you've been doing all along and going, fine, I see no real difference.
I thought that was something interesting that Bungie were saying on the firing range, saying that PvP and PvE aren't going to be too opposed, basically dissimilar. Is that the word?
In terms of
with the way that you can get your abilities back, I think it was. I was under the assumption that they were splitting it because they wanted you to have that power fantasy in PvE, but not too much in PvP. But it sounds like they want it to kind of be similar with how you gain your abilities back, but you have more potential of spamming it in PvE. That's the way I thought it was going.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to remember, because all of the weapon and all of the big focus changes, they talked about PvP changes. And yeah, so I mean, PvE, they still want us to be powerful. They still want us to have these fantasies, but I think they're also trying to guard against the world we lived in when the Reckoning was up and you could get your super back, and we were just we were too powerful to kill. They had to keep building harder and harder activities where you had to play it one particular way, or there was just no way through it. So I think they're trying
they
to
did say that,
you know,
yeah.
they're trying to sort of limit us in PvP a little bit, but still make PvE powerful, but not just let it go whole hog and say you can do whatever you want. You are a space god at all times. Because again,
They're trying to find the balance that like really they're trying to I guess make them the same and yet at the same time different. They still want PvE to be like you are the super god, like there is very little if anything that can stand in your way. But they still want PvP to be you are fighting people maybe not like yourselves, but you are fighting other players. And yet at the same time they're trying to find a way to I guess make them similar, if that makes any sense.
yeah, but I mean that's one thing Bungie said is they love that the PvE and PvP is one game. Like it's not like you leave the to go into this special mode where PvP happens. They like that it's all one thing and one world we're living in, and the weapons we can bring back and forth between the two. But it's trying to it's trying to balance those out. In you want us to go after a raid boss with all that we have, but you don't want that same experience in one person stepping into PvP and just deleting 11 other players off the map, which is a battle they're never going to win because you're never going to find perfect balance. But they're as they say, twiddling knobs and adjusting switches over here and hoping for the best. We're getting there slowly but surely. Our looter shooter is becoming a little bit of an RPG. We'll see how that pans out.
I love the fact that Cheese actually got a mention on firing range. So they don't want to learn about something from Cheese forever. It's like, brilliant.
If he's how we're learning about this,
yeah, then we've done our job wrong.
Well, speaking of firing range and things you've watched this week, do you have many good things for us? Have people sort of all gone off to play different games while Destiny is right pre-hype?
But I've found some good stuff. I have found some good stuff for people to check out. So again, speaking of Cheese Forever has got Broken Trials Adept Farming exploit. Now this wasn't something that I was aware of, and I'm not sure if you guys were aware of this.
Not until I saw this video.
If you go 7 wins, it comes up, you can then go to the lighthouse to get your rewards. But what people have found out is if you don't go to the lighthouse and still carry on playing, you don't get put in that flawless loot pool. You can then carry on playing and winning against people that are on their 7th game. Because you're not in the flawless pool, you're being pitted against those players that are coming up to their flawless pool, and you have a chance at getting adept weapons from continuously playing. Now, there is a caveat to that. If you lose twice, you basically lock out your card, and you kind of then have to start again. But this is how people have been getting around farming for their adept weapons, and Cheese has got a video on it, which was quite informative, and I thought we've got to let people know about this, that there are people out there trying to break the system that Bungie are either aware of. I'm guessing they're aware of because they've learned about it in a Cheese video. But I wasn't aware of it. Did you guys know?
Yeah, no,
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, I was a little curious because I was playing again a couple weeks ago and I had 6 wins on my card. Obviously, it had long become a flawed card before that. But I had 6 wins and I was playing people and I was losing games and they were saying, oh, granted the lighthouse. I think I sort of missed the point where you can absolutely be playing people go into the lighthouse just because you happen to be 6 wins on your card of maybe it took you 40 games to get there, but you have 6 wins on that card. You're playing people on their 6th win going for 7 that could be flawless. I think I just, glossed over that in my mind that that's who I'd be playing. And at that point, I reset the card because I was like, this is dumb. I have no real reason to fight for the 7th win on this broken card. I'm just trying to get my, wins for the weekend to get my, pinnacle dropper and a couple extra engrams. I'm not trying to go anywhere with this card. But
Well, you
I'm
get
absolutely
more XP
getting
the more
the
wins that
floor
you
rate.
have on the card. So if you get to about 3 wins, I think you get more XP at that point. But yeah, anything lower than that, you don't get as much XP gains.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk reward of you might get the XP, but you will also have a much worse time. Now, granted, I'm also solo loading in on a non-solo, me and my 2 random friends against the 3 stacks that are going to the lighthouse. So of course we're not doing great, but it just comes down to what kind of time do you want to have, and is the little bit of extra XP boost worth it to you?
Now, I thought when you play against players that have been to the lighthouse and they put on their trials emblems for that week, it gives them the glow, doesn't it? To say, yes, they've been to the lighthouse. Now you can either put on, I think it's the red glow if you've got one certain emblem, the yellow glow if you've got on the other emblem, and if you don't have the emblem on, it just glows white. So what really confused me this week is on Monday I was playing, and I hadn't been flawless this week. I haven't been flawless since the last time I went flawless. Now, my first game, I was playing against somebody with a full set of red armor glowing with their Trials emblem. And I thought, well, surely I shouldn't be playing them because they've already been to the lighthouse this week, but it was matching me up against them. And I didn't understand why. Because as I believe that that only activates once you've gone flawless that week. So when it comes around to the next week, you have to then redo it again for those glows to work on your weapons and your armor. But I was fighting against somebody that had the red glow, all working on the first game that I played of the week, and I was like, I'm not sure about this. But
To be honest, I'm not sure I've ever noticed the glows when I'm getting the floor absolutely wiped with my face. I just go, okay, you're much better than I am. Very good.
well,
Congratulations,
yeah.
you're much better than me.
Well, that's the way I thought it worked. Is that you can put on the emblem, but unless you've actually been flawless that week or you've been to the lighthouse that week, those emblem glows don't actually work on the weapons and the armor until you've kind of done it. So you can still put them on and show that you've been at some point, but they don't necessarily work until you've actually been flawless. But hey ho, I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, you're probably right, and I'm probably wrong, given our history doing this.
Shadow Destiny. Now, this is one that I really found interesting. He plays on 80 FOV, so field of view, and he goes into a reason
why 80, the number 80. I was like, what is ATFOV? Right, the number 80 field of view.
Yes.
Sorry, my brain just short-circuited there. I was going, what is he talking
about? Sorry. And he shows you, the different field of views and why you might want to play on, not necessarily scale it up to 105, which is the max that you can kind of do at the moment, but maybe scale it back so that you can see more things that be closer to you. I think his analogy is like threading a needle. You don't want to thread a needle with the needle being so far away from you can't see it, but you want it just close enough to your face so that you can actually thread it through. It makes a lot of sense. And he does a very good video of maybe why you might not necessarily want to play at 105. You might want to lower it down and get things closer to you. So check that video out. And then 2 videos that you put in, Peroty, is the Fallout Plays Datto Roasts My Vault and Datto Fallout Roasts My Vault. So Fallout's was a lot longer. It was about 50 minutes long. Datto's, I think, was only about 15 minutes long. But they basically go through each other's vaults and roast each other on why they've still got certain roles and certain weapons in their vaults and persuade each other to kind of dismantle things. And no, it hasn't helped me, so it doesn't matter.
No,
I was going to say, I had saw that video, and I'm not even joking. I thought, Nitedemon, you need to watch this, and so do the rest of the hosts, so that they understand why your vault is so full and why it continues to be so full even after you clean it out.
Fallout's. I've got some golden rolls in mine. He had silly rolls in his. Some of them.
It was interesting looking at the two of them and just seeing and Dado said right away, sort of, here's how I approach things. He throws things away a lot sooner. He's like, if I haven't used it in 2 seasons, I'm going to dump it. He had some sentimental things, but not nearly as many as Fallout did. He was sort of like, if it's got high kill count or like a crazy OG weapon, and he has things like the toothbrush in there. Fallout just like, Fallout again was, much like the Nitedemon and the Indies of the world, completely full, 500 to 500, all the characters maxed out, Postmaster maxed out. And, some of it was, and Dado does say at the beginning, it's like, I understand you're obviously for, you do more PvP stuff, so you need more, different things for PvP, for Crucible sides of things versus the rest of the game. And Dado's like, obviously I don't do as much of that stuff, so I have just list things on that end of the testing and whatever. But it was interesting to see sort of their philosophies of what they kept. And I think Fallout had deleted like 8 or 9 things in that stream of going, why do I have 8 of these? I don't need 8 of these. And a couple things like, why do I have this still? So it just fun. It was just fun to see 2 people who sort of approach this as very different ways of vault space is a problem for everybody, but how do you approach it? Dado's sort of going, if I need a version of something, I can get one back. I don't need to keep every last one. Fallout's like, no,
If I
these are my
haven't
babies.
used
I
it
love
in
them.
3 months, then get rid of it.
Yep, exactly. I
But
thought that was fun that they roasted each other's vaults. I liked that it went both ways. It wasn't just Dado talking about Fallout. It was
Yeah.
you show me mine, I'll show you yours kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And the last one was the same video that you linked last week. I'm putting it back in there. It's the Tefty Teft streaming advice. I watched it. It was really good advice. If anybody's getting into streaming and wants some advice on, somebody that's been streaming for a very long time. Yeah, so I found it very useful to listen to. So I thought I'd put it back in there.
Yeah, just good advice on, keeping your mental health, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what you got.
Nitedemon, if I may interject, I actually did a little bit of research
No.
for when you said I could record a little while ago.
No.
So if you guys wouldn't mind
Hunter doing
or would
research?
like it, I
No.
have done a little bit of research myself, and if the listeners and you would like, I could give some videos that I have seen and might like to recommend to people.
You can go through them and drop them into one of the things that I can find. And I will link them in the show notes.
Stick the link to the Discord. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Or yeah, if you can just give me 1 second to do that real quick.
As my children would say, you've had it. That's your 1 second. Or they'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. You've had your second, Dad. Like, no, that's not what I meant.
That's what I meant. You know it, and that's not how seconds work.
Yes, that's not how seconds work. You have the floor, Prince RYZNYZ.
All right, so I cannot find them, so I'm just going to tell them about you real quick. So one of the ones I first found was another Fallout video, which was how much resilience do you really... What's the best resilience to run in Destiny 2 right now? And actually, now that I see it's a little outdated, it was back in, I think, what's December now? I think it was back in, like, October or something.
It's never
So,
outdated.
but it's
still good advice.
Yeah, it's still a good.
Yeah, like,
October.
Yeah, whether it's still viable now or not, Fallout basically, he just goes through, like, how much resilience do you really need, and like how much is considered overkill. And it's about
7.
it's about like
It's 7.
yeah, it's like
And then,
7 or
then
8.
you, as
6,
me,
9,
would say to Respawn, you have to watch the video because it not necessarily is 7.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and then another one I found, which is actually not a common one that you guys do. His name is Hater the One. He has made a warlock stasis build using the Ager's Scepter, and the Eye of Another World on the warlock. It's basically him like using the Bleak Watcher's grenade, like the grenade that turns into a turret, and like how the Ager's Scepter like refills the grenade energy or something like that to keep doing that, and then the weapon to get the energy and just so forth. And it's basically just like a never-ending cycle of like ability and grenade energy.
Is it good for PvP or PvE?
It was kind of one of those builds where it depends on what you do. Like I know he said like you can have like 1 or 2 mods, and I'm probably not even remembering this correctly, but I think it's like you can choose between like 2 or 3 mods, like whether or not you prefer PvE, PvP, or just like, or I can't even say both. I'd have to say Gambit.
Okay.
But like it's one of those it's one of those like not best of both worlds, but like definitely usable in both worlds. But I think for the most part it was mostly PvE.
Yeah, you can spec in. Is this the best stasis turret build for Stasis Warlocks? I put a link in the show note.
Cool.
We can put in our show notes. It looks like he's got tells you which aspects and fragments to use. He uses the Eye of Another World or Verity's Brow, and then goes over the mods, and then uses the Ager's Scepter in that build as well. So I don't know if that's the right one, but it's
the best stasis turret build, stasis warlock build by Hater the One. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's always fun to give some new people some love. Hater the One's got a smaller stream, but yeah, we're always looking for people that we don't always watch because there's a ton of them out there.
Yeah,
very cool.
Is that it? Is that all?
It for me?
That's you. Oh, okay.
All right. Should I summon the angry one?
Are you summoning him back?
I did say I would, so I've summoned him back now. So he can't tell me that I didn't summon him back. So if he doesn't show up, that's on him.
Does it all he wants to say is goodbye to people, does he?
It is.
Okay.
But first, he wants me to say thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunter is no one who respawns in real life. We send our best wishes of good health and good tidings to Nalarf and his family. And our new hunter is his High Prince RYZNYZ. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can find the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere you want to be. Find us on Spotify. Make us your Unwrapped #1. We love you. You love us. You put up with us for 150 episodes. And here's to at least 150 more. Nitedemon,
Yeah.
we're in this for the long haul, buddy.
Yeah, I'd like to say
21,000 minutes.
I'd just like to say thank you for anybody that's listened to any one of our episodes from 1 to 150. Thank you very much for sticking with us or even just joining us now. It is much appreciated. We do love the fact that we do get listeners to us. So
And I'll tell you what I've got right
we will
now.
keep it up as long as people listen.
Yeah, and for me, I can tell you guys that I have listened in 2021. I have listened to 72 of their episodes for a total of 21,322 minutes. So hopefully, I'm just going to say this. Let's see if you guys can beat that.
That's a lot
I
of
can beat
minutes.
that because I have to listen to it live and then have to listen
Well,
to it
I'm sure
as I edit
I'm
it.
Sure you could. Yeah, I'm sure you could, but I feel like this is more towards the listener. Who can go for over 21,000 minutes?
And why would you want to? I mean, you love us. Yeah, absolutely. Sound
Yeah.
right. But seriously, and yeah, but thank you, everyone. It's been really fun as the Spotify Unwrapped comes out, which I forget that they have podcasts in Spotify because I'm a ye old podcast listener that listened to things before they were in things like Spotify and Audible. But it's been
I don't
really
think they
cool.
had this last year, actually.
It's been really cool. They had the Unwrapped, but I don't think they had the podcast in there yet.
Yeah, they didn't have the podcast. I know they had the wrap.
Yeah, but it's been very cool to see our little show that we make every week show up in people's lists of what they listen to most, which is just very cool to see what still feels like, me and two nerds sitting in our houses talking to each other once a week and somehow getting out into the world. So this is where it's also a good time to say, if you do love us, leave us a review on your place of listening. We love you and tell your friends about us, and it helps other people find the show because if you're enjoying us this much, other people would enjoy us at least that much.
Twice as much, in fact.
Yeah, and you can find all your favorite respawns on PC mostly because he's a high and mighty PC player. He's no longer a console pleb. He will not speak to you there because he can't because it's broken. So you just
like 9,000 gigs of updates if you ever wanted me to get on, and I'm not about that life, so no.
And this is where I should also tell you to listen to our show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, especially Spotify. Be our Unwrapped top buddy. And everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Watch the show on YouTube. Join our Discord, if you dare, at discord.frozen.party. That's Frozen with a 0. And with that, gents, say goodbye.
Deuces!
Goodbye.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Demon.
Yes.
Why is Carpal Tunnel talking about the real contest is to see who can make Respawn snap? Either A,
I have no idea what's going on.
Because I lose my mind on the regular. So I don't know.
Sure, that's not a contest. That's just called waking up in the morning and realizing you live in Florida and then
That's
losing
just
your
called
mind.
poking the bear. That's not a difficult thing to do. Right?
You don't even have to poke the bear. The bear comes pre-poked. The bear wakes up and is already angry. That's like asking how do we make the Hulk angry? It just is. It's just a constant. There's no contest there. That'd be like go outside and look at the sky. Hey, you found it. You win. Make it respawn.
Unless he's using a different definition of snap. Like, does it mean like snap? Like I just lose my mind and I can't do the show anymore? I mean, like what are you trying to say? What do you mean snap? What kind of snap are you trying to make me have?
West Side Story, probably.
Ooh, good reference, sir. Very good reference. I approve.
Two Titans and a Hunter musical. We got this.
Oh my god! Could you imagine me being 6'1", as fat as I am, Peroty being 6'12", as big as he is, and then tiny little Nitedemon. And yes, I know I said 6'12", which is 7 feet. Shut up.
Someone needs to be pocket sized.
No, Carpo's got a point. He says the smaller the fight, or the smaller the person, the more the fight they have in them. And I exactly agree with that. Because look, I used to be
Because Respawn gives up a lot easier than I do.
no, not even
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I've been a
That's
trained
what you were
fighter
gonna
for a
say.
long time. I've trained kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and I can tell you one definite
I've
thing.
been training biting.
Bigger guys aren't really used to fighting as much as smaller guys are, and it sounds weird, right? But a bigger
I'll do
guys usually have
jiu-jitsu.
intimidation
I
on
will
their
launch
side.
a biting attack at you.
What are you, a Pokemon? Shut up.
For
I don't
75
care.
hits of damage.
Yeah. You will scream in anger and pain.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be another 15 minutes. I got some. I don't even know what it's called. I'll be there in 15 minutes.
I don't give a damn
Give me a
about your updates. I'm more concerned about who invited you.
He
Why are
invited
you
himself
here?
many
Nitedemon?
times. Don't blame me. You invited yourself many times. I just
I
didn't-
was told by you that it'd be okay if I joined. So
Oh, really?
I just
Yes.
didn't say it wouldn't be all right.
but you never implied that it would. So
Oh, goodness.
That's because I'm a
Yeah.
nice person.
Don't ask for
Alright.
permission, ask for forgiveness. No, I disconnect Respawn because he's done now.
Yeah. Did you kick him?
I am the new respawn. Yeah.
Oh, he's back now.
Oh,
You've enraged the Respawn.
Who kicked me?
I kicked you because I said I summoned you back, and now you're done. Go play D&D. And because we're done.
All right,
we're
fair
done.
enough. Talk to you all later.
You missed a good talk.
It's all right. I know what the podcast is. I think it'll be
No,
fine.
you don't even pretend you're going to listen to it.
oh my
Don't even
God.
pretend.
Well, no. He knows where it is. He just chooses never
Yeah.
to listen to it.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
can-
did any
he
of
can
you hear me say
absolutely
that I'll
find
listen to it? I said I know where to find it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he has to know where to send people. He knows where to find it. He just chooses
Right.
not to. That's all.
And I do listen to them every now and again. And if it really was a good conversation, I'll listen.
It's
If you-
always a good
Well, here's
listen.
the thing: you won't know
Hey.
if it was a good conversation until you listen to it.
Listen, you.